today. It is Europe up next, as I mentioned, and there are a lot of very well-known individuals. Gotaga, a very popular streamer over in Europe, is going to be killing it today. Mythrain, as well as a bunch of others.
Yeah, I'm already liking some of that names. The Blue Walkers, nice. Resident Sleeper. Wondering if we'll be seeing them camp their way throughout today's
Spa Boys, Pony Hoff, and Unreal Yuki.
Archmage, my boy, Johan Merlo, a.k.a. Todd. He's a guy that I've done many esports events with.
Bonjour and Bonjour.
Bonjour and Bonjour. Well, I mean, did Flash and Jadon come to play? Is that the surprise?
We saw,
they should have been an APAC.
Yeah, Hotted. We saw Hotted 89. He's going to be on there as well. A couple little solo players.
Hey, look at that random French guys.
Random French guy. Poupidou.
Random.
It's just him.
It's singular.
It's singular. It's just one French guy.
Yeah.
He wants to find a second guy to make it French guys or girls. Technically, guys is sometimes considered the vernacular for a guy and a girl. But alas, we're not going to keep rambling. Actually, we're going to be rambling a lot. The bells have
We'll continue to ramble. Don't you worry. If you were terrified that this might be a overly professional, boring esports cast, if we pretend that this is literally the greatest thing you've ever seen in your entire life,
you're wrong.
We're going to have some fun. It's going to be good times. We'll be sending y'all out the great things like this map, Sanhok. If you haven't been playing enough PUBG, what are you doing? This map is fun, fast, action-packed. And if you're one of those people that dies in the first few minutes of the game, guess what? You'll do it way more on this map, too. You will.
You will indeed. Maximum time's 25 minutes here in Sanhok, unlike the 35 minutes you see on Erangel as well as the Desert Wasteland Miramar. We can see the plane is cutting it at a nice little angle from northeast to southwest. As we can see it cutting ourselves across, and with a map that is 25% the size of the normal maps, but just as much loot. We actually increased a little bit of loot, a couple more assault rifles, so that way we can make sure that we have all the actions you can need here in Broadcaster Royale.
If you have the players that are beginning to jump out, and like we said, we'll be following these players' perspectives directly as they are all broadcasting live on Twitch TV. So if you see someone that you like, or someone that, well, you know, you don't need to target people we don't like. If you see a streamer you like, someone you want to support, someone who's really impressing you, give them a check out. Hit them up with a follow. Go in their chat and be like, hey, you missed that level 3 vest, even though there was never one there to begin with.
Exactly. And don't forget, if you are watching in some of their channels, or you're watching here on the Broadcaster Royale channel, and you see anything you might enjoy, you find yourself a highlight, find yourself a clip. Maybe you even enjoyed, you know, the anime girl that you had, that we had in the APAC region.
Yoo-woo. Boom.
Make sure you get yourself a Twitch clip. Head on over to the Twitterverse. Use the hashtag Broadcaster Royale, where we can showcase some of those up and available. As it looks like we are already onto the map, ready to rock and roll. As it looks like first pieces of weapons have already started being acquired.
Asian servers or something?
Chilling over on the boot camp. As that's a very high. I mean, there's tons of loot that you're going to be able to find there.
It's a boot camp. What do you expect?
The points of contention, though, right? But the players have spread out all over this map, and the circle is very center focused, so you're not worried too much about having to adjust for that first one by any means.
We're looking at Jonesy, as well as Kodiak, his teammate. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the little black circles that are coming across, I believe that's like a mouse tracker. Shows you how fast, how quickly you're moving your mouse across your mouse pad. As most of you are aware that watching games such as PUBG, as well as CSGO and a bunch of other of these hardcore FPS games, low sensitivity where you have these giant mouse pads that are on that are on your area. It's not like some of the RTS games or some of the other aspects. PUBG definitely benefits from that smaller that smaller. That's the word we're looking for. Smaller DPI, rather, so that way you can actually get yourself some more precise shots.
As far as I'm aware, ergonomically, it's also better for your hands.
It is
too.
It is.
Use
moving with your arm as opposed to your wrist. You're
supposed to make wide sweeping movements with your arm. Fine wrist movements are less encouraged. So.
See, did anyone ever think that they'd hop onto a PUBG stream and learn some health tips for the longevity of your gaming career?
Yeah, it's important, man.
Do you?
How are you going to play video games if you get wrist damage?
Do you use low sensitivity, or are you still a victim?
I play all my games 400 DPI.
Really?
Yep.
I definitely play PUBG on 800. So
I got a big mouse pad, 400 DPI, no wrist pain for me. Easy.
Beautiful. You're what everyone aspires to be, Nathanius.
Something like that.
Actually, that's a horrible standard to attribute yourself to. So I'm sorry for anyone that uses Nathanias as a standard for excellence.
Hey, I'm good at some stuff.
You are. No, you're great.
Yeah. You're still in the early phase of the game, of course. Sinnoh, we did have a Sinnoh circle earlier today in the APAC qualifier that did kind of favor one half of the map more. But we have a couple of teams that are going to be engaging, and it looks like Julianda taking a couple of shots from Armut. And Loggy Buff is peeks out to the side. Loggy Buff knocked down, though, as Wondery is starting to rotate around. Julianda looking for the flank, but he gets him, and there's a double kill. Now, it's important to remind all of you guys tuning in that it is not just a game of survival in Broadcaster Royale. You also get extra points that boost your ranking for each individual kill that you get. 4 points per kill, when it's only 5 points difference between position and placement.
Yes.
A couple of kills move you up in the ranks very quickly.
Yeah, it's the difference between first and second place finish is 5 points, 200 versus 195 respectively. So if you're that second place and you got 2 kills higher than the team that got first, you still find yourself in first place.
Yes,
yeah, indeed.
And that's a super awesome thing that kind of encourages and rewards the aggressive play.
We saw the winner of the APAC region, actually, Juwan and Mercedes, their specific team. They didn't win a single chicken dinner of the 5 maps, but their consistency in finishes, as well as the unbelievable amount of kills, netting themselves.
I think that's the eye tracker.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it looks like the eye tracker. Some of that stuff is that stuff's pretty cool. I mean, it gives you a. I like that the graphics of it have like kind of evolved. That it kind of this actually looks a lot less jarring than the older ones that I've seen graphically.
It's still slightly terrifying, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, it's meant to give you an idea of like, this is how much the player is looking around, and it really shows you their awareness of everything.
And I think that's something that. You think about these third-party companies that are kind of creating these opportunities like this, but I also think that this is something that Twitch has really Twitch has been focusing on a lot as well with the extensions program.
Yep.
Being able to actually see you can see cards in hands for card games.
Now,
you can see specific KDAs and things like that on games like PUBG. It's just the interactivity alone is creating that experience for the viewers, which in something like video games, it really, really amounts to a lot.
And especially in competitive games when you're trying to learn from the people that you're watching. And not just be entertained. You want to improve your own gameplay. Having access to every little bit more information can really tell you a lot about what makes a player better than another when you're comparing them both side by side. Xeon's been kind of stuck out on this hill as Carrie's mod was running off. But we're gonna pass it back over to.
He's not using. He's not using the arm work. You see, he's stretching out his wrists.
Stretch them out. You put your hands out completely straight. You turn your palms up. Stretch it out just 5-10 seconds. Let it go. Hang loose.
No one wants to die. I like it when that happens.
He does.
I kind of like.
So now this actually, believe it or not, falls right in line with the European playstyle that we saw in week number 1. Both days, both in the Invitational as well as the Open Path. Open Path, not so much. Anytime you get these open sign-up situations, you get these more aggressive players that just want to go and really put their put their name on a tournament that they join. But in instances like this, especially what we're seeing over in Europe, a lot more passive, a lot slower. And what we see that does at a place here like Sanhok is it's slow. We're sitting at 46 players left alive right now, but in a span of 60 seconds, sometimes even less, that's going to get cut in half once the circle decides to get smaller.
And I will say as well, a couple fewer players for the region compared to APAC as well, so the players are able to more easily spread out without running into each other.
Yes.
And especially considering the circle here. This circle has not really pushed anybody to move. It's covering pretty much the entire map as we check out Cyanide. And
nice
maybe
little
now
central,
we'll see
nice
players
central
move.
circle.
Yeah, I mean, you could have landed anywhere and easily made it here, with full time to loot whatever was around you. And hopefully, the next circle is where we're going to see some sort of push. So that Northwest Island's going to be cut off a little bit.
Still, though, this is one of the most. This is now 2 in a row the most generous circles for the majority of these players. There is only one team that's on that northwestern island of Sanhok. Everyone else is within walking distance.
I hope
to a fairly specific certain.
I hope we get to see them fight. Yeah, Johanna's my buddy.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction here.
What's up?
And say that before this game ends, 45 people are gonna die.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think so?
That's actually a bold statement because technically, not everybody could die because a duo could win. So I technically am still making a claim that could be defeated.
There's a 50% chance you're right or
is
wrong.
Really 50-50 though?
Is it though?
Is it?
It could be.
It could possibly be. Flipism, man.
We were crunching the numbers, and that's what I got.
I got confused because we showed up at 2 a.m. this morning, and number crunching was definitely not in my strong suit. I could barely add up 1 plus 2.
Nice with more healing overall.
Yeah.
I think we're low on that.
Well, I'm going to agree with this guy. You don't need to crunch numbers to know that having more heals is definitely beneficial to your PUBG strategy.
If you have more health than them, and your health is greater than 0,
generally speaking, that gives you an advantage.
It does.
These teams kind of like cross 2 ships in the night. It's like, yeah, we're both here, but yeah, you're talking about this a little bit more that turtle play style. That San team, Helixon's like, yeah, we're not moving. We're gonna hold this door crossfire, and if someone comes in, we kill him. If
Pony
someone
Hop's
doesn't,
all about it too. Him and Yuki both.
I was like, look, man, how much money did you say was on the line at the grand finals?
Yeah,
300,000. Yeah, we're not moving.
No,
I got my butt firmly planted in this corner.
Brought me a stack of cards, got a jug of water.
Yeah,
I'm just there.
That's
Maybe a book.
Just living the life.
When was the last time you read a book, Nathanius?
Oh goodness. Oh man, I don't even. It's been a while.
I'm gonna take a gander and say that it was right before you bought your Nintendo Switch. Because now,
not true.
Because now, that's all you do on the planes. Not that it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It was. It gave me a great viewing experience the last time that we flew together.
There's actually a Twitch book club that got started up
recently.
Oh, there is.
I was reading a little bit from a novel. It was very weird. It was about magic and stuff. I wasn't that into it.
What's wrong with magic?
I'm gonna open the store over here just so you know, so I can look at the bridge.
All right.
So everyone's working on their camping strategy right now. Our banter will improve as the players start to fight each other.
It probably won't,
promise.
actually. It probably won't. You're going to have to deal with this at some point or another. 46 members still left alive. We've got the next circle that is starting, ready to rock. It is moving along its way.
Yeah. So teams that are moving around. So Todd's team is going to have to cross over towards boot camp. That area has been mostly looted as they're on the northwest side. Just 2 teams, it seems, that are still kind of around the west end of where the circle is. Couple teams. Everyone's still mostly spread out, really. Like, in that center area, they're going to get a little bit closer, but I think you put it properly. You know, we compare, I'd say, like Europe to, like, Latin America. You know, the Latin American region, half the players would be dead. They would have mostly all landed on boot camp, punch each other to death. But the European players, they are
just
totally
all out
content.
fist fight.
They have the patience to
there
hold
we go.
down.
Season 2 of Broadcast Royale. No weapons, increased circle speed, and just fisticuffs.
Yeah.
Just bring out your best fisticuffs, and that's it. Fisticuffs and painkillers. That's all you need. The true Fight Club style.
Yep. All right, let's see where the next circle goes. We're going to have any move. It's still very center focused, so the players don't have to move too much. But now enough of them have to move that we should be getting a little bit more towards the action.
And you've got a lot of boot camp in as well. You take a look at the northern side of that circle. You can see players on the eastern northern side of the current circle that they're in. So as they start to rotate around, of course, you're going to want to try to get yourself as much cover as possible. Boot camp providing lots of little crevices and nooks and crannies for you to be able to be in somewhat of a viable spot could create an opportunity for some of these fights.
Yeah, and until we reach that point, someone in chat I think says it very well. It's like a national park.
It is.
A lot of people out
Sanok
camping.
National Park.
You know, and they're armed. You know, you got to be careful in case like grizzly bears or something shows up.
Did you go camping in Pennsylvania?
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania does have some beautiful mountain areas.
We had real camping. Okay.
Real camp. No, you're absolutely correct. Real camping.
If you haven't just taken a sleeping bag out into the woods, you haven't really camped.
Were you in Boy Scouts?
No.
No. Too cool.
We have an engagement.
It's the first fight.
Wacky Jackie gets knocked down. Teammates trying to cover him. Speezy looks out to the left side, and then Dacia. And Speezy's actually able to finish off Cyanide and Edberg, so he's got an opportunity to save his buddy. We see him drop the smoke grenade, and he should be getting that res. There you go. A little bit of action for y'all.
Yeah.
Just enough to wake you up, not a lot.
Yeah, we're not trying to
two individuals die. Yeah, we gotta make sure we build everyone up appropriately. We don't want to front load it with too much action, because then you're just going to get bored. So,
just going to spoon feed you a little bit.
It is. It's like a great book. It starts off slow. You set the scene. You hate like one character from the beginning. In that instance, we are that one character, the commentators.
You trying to tell me that I did it wrong?
He didn't die.
What?
That I gave up on the book.
You did. You should have given it a chance, man.
Maybe.
It's okay.
Well, the players are all spread out again. So, waiting to see. We have a couple of teams outside the circle. That northeast end looks like it's ripe for a couple of fights, though. Two of those teams do not have open space to enter the circle from. So, in my mind, that says we should be able to get engagement, as Felix San's team is getting very close on that east end. Xeon will have to leave those buildings eventually, or if anyone tries to get there to hide, they have the position to try and pick somebody off that's heading towards it. As we take a look at KTV Sky and Horkin, who are on that northeast end, potentially about to run into these guys. He's scoping out. He's looking for an opportunity.
Trying to see if he can get some sort of shot off. I do have to say, despite the fact that we talk about the passive play of Europe, we talk about the change, at the same time, it is that patience and the calculated aggression that has allowed some of them to succeed, as we can see two more members fall.
That's what makes with a lot of the European, I think, FPS pro gamers insanely good, is that patience.
Calculated aggression, knowing when to finally decide to pull that trigger, it separates life from death. And in a lot of these instances, as we can see, Horkan and Kvitsky themselves picked themselves up 2 kills.
And looking down the range, he's got a good scope for that M4, but not able to mark the target the way that he wants to just yet, as they wait for that circle to continue to close in. And the rest of those players that were outside towards that space have mostly been cleared out. They've all made it inside of the safe zone. But the next zone is going to pull way up north towards boot camp. And I think this is where we'll be looking for the future engagements, as everyone's going to kind of pull in. And this is where things get a little bit tricky, right? It reminds me of the end of that Miramar game where it closed in on a bunch of buildings. And we might see even more harder turtling at that point if these players are all able to separate themselves in elevation of those structures.
Find just enough of a spot to camp out and hope that you can get something in. Also, for those of you that are wondering, if you want to know who's participating today, clearly we're going through as many of these perspectives as we can. But if you're wondering if your favorite streamer is there and you're not sure if they're streaming or something like that, head on over to broadcastroyale.com. We actually post the participant list for both the Invitational, and then you can find the links to go for the open bracket as well. So make sure you head on over to broadcastroyale.com. Check all of those things out so you can get yourself well educated and in the know for qualifier number 2 here this weekend.
Yep, and the blood begins to spill on the battlefield as a significant number of players begin to go down, as we have a couple of players now crossing over. Team Yoan on the left side making their way into the circle.
And look at the confidence of the Cobra and Elvzoy as well. They're taking the longest roundabout way, risking what is looking like to be going over this bridge, which could spell disaster. As you can see across the other side of the river, there's actually a couple of players that might decide to spot them. As now, look at that, Ponyhoff. He got outside. Got outside the camp.
God, what's the sun? It burns. Well, they're making their way up towards that next safe zone. They'll be looking for another position to hunker down in as they continue to move forward. Looking out towards the bridge, I mean, always a great position to try and catch people that are making their way across. Did have a couple of players that are actually making their way over there. If they were to stick around this bridge for a little bit longer, there is one team that'll be coming that their flank could be exposed in this situation. As Jonesy takes a few shots trying to make his way into some cover.
The bunny hop's not giving you that extra speed boost that you might want. Taking him down a little bit of extra damage. 36 players left alive. As now we're back on Wacky Jackie and Spreezy.
Okay. So I'll get a better angle.
And these guys have worked pretty well together so far. They've had their fair share of trades in this match. We've got Team Yugi Nice gets shut off on Azax. We have Jonesy now looking at these players coming down the hill. Managed to get a few hits in, but Truckee pops him with that Car 98.
Shooting someone in the back.
Ends up picking up that kill on him, so it was a great turn, but in the end, he ended up losing his life. As now, just like what we were talking about, those members over 40 is now getting whittled down much quicker than these players had anticipated, down to 32 players left alive. That's going to be 17 teams.
Cobra.
Great little headshot there as he's laughing, knocking out one of his fellow streamers. The Cobra ends up getting knocked by Ponyhoff. 30 members left alive.
Yep, dancing around. He's got a reasonable kit going on as they continue to make their way around the edge of the circle. As it's closing in on the west side of the boot camp position now. And a good amount of these players are actually still kind of making their way from that west side. Some players will be bleeding out outside the zone as the Cobra actually does finish off by the play zone. And just looking out, realizing that a lot of these players do come in a little bit late. It's not so bad of a decision to keep your eyes outside of the ring just to make sure that you don't get caught off guard by a straggler barely making their way in at the final moment.
Exactly. We can take a look at the map now and see where this next circle is going to be. 20 seconds until it decides to start moving. It's going to be on the northwestern side of the current existing playable area. You've got about half the side of boot camp available, and this is where really we're going to start to see teams concave. You can see Tony Hawk actually is going to end up getting killed. We are in time as the magical forces of the world is there. You can just see him getting killed on your screen right now as we're swapping back over to Wacky Jackie. As he hears the shots and onward he climbs to potentially get himself off some kills.
Take it slow now.
Making his way to the top of the hill. A lot of people getting knocked down. Big engagement happened on the northwest side of the circle as well during all of this. And then that high ground position is nice. Got to be careful with the cover in case someone's there in a defensive position waiting for you. In this situation, moving with a teammate, very important. This big open hill, a lot of people trying to climb up this together from all sides.
Taking a look at Kvetsky and Horkin, we actually saw Kvetsky, if I'm not mistaken, last qualifier. Not sure if he was in the Open or the Invitational, but I do remember that he was quite active off the mark, getting himself some extra kills as his teammates actually end up downing somebody. Wacky Jackie takes one down, but ends up getting down in Azal. He takes out Wondery. That's going to be 3 kills for him. So already Kvetsky and Horkin, 2 players that we're going to have to keep our eye on over the course of the next 5 matches.
Yep, like we were talking about, your finish in the rank is not all that matters. Gets him inside the bush.
Surprise! He said that's going to be a bush in waiting, but more importantly, it's going to be a birthday present. I don't actually know if it's birthday. He's definitely... I'm gonna say
you know, any trade like that feels like a birthday trade.
Is it really a trade, or is it just a present waiting to just like die in front of you?
Well, I mean, his teammate got knocked down, so.
Okay, true.
It wasn't completely for free.
No. But is life anything? Is there anything in life that's actually free?
Friendship.
Oh God, that voice. It's the voice that I hear in my nightmares.
Well, at least the circle's kind of pushing outside of that place where the boot camp was as the players continue to make their way. Kvetsky gets another kill on Winghaven.
5 kills
That's an extra 20 points that they've made now, just off of his kills alone.
And his teammate's gotten at least a couple on his own as well. So with 11 left alive now, they've got an opportunity to continue to climb onto this leaderboard, as well as, like what we mentioned, you were talking about it earlier, Nathanius, the more kills that these teams are able to get, the better their chances are, as 4 points per kill definitely adds up after a while.
Those mannequins still get me, by the way.
They do.
When you turn that corner, it's just like boom in your face.
They do.
It's Todd. Yeah.
I don't think that.
I've
hit 10.
He's a very impassioned French gamer.
Oh, wow.
It's a good shot, that Car 98.
That's going to be a 1. That's going to be a 2. Can we get the 3-piece? It's not going to be the 3-piece just yet, but it does force the down member's teammate that he did just down to actually run away. He's going to throw the grenade. I don't actually think he needed it with the circle coming in. That's something he's going to have to worry about.
Gets the finish off on them, so Todd moves up to 2 kills here as him and his teammate Bootless continue to make their way up there, looking over towards that north side because they still want to get into the circle, but they have to go up the hill to get to that position. This is just funny, being able to commentate one of my usual co-casters in a game. I never thought I'd get to do this.
No?
Or maybe left, even left. I think left is good.
I love it. You know how many times this guy's made me land Picado with him so that I can just die instantly?
Well, now you get to watch him either rise or fail.
He's doing pretty well, the top 7.
He is top 7. 7 members left alive. We see Twitch Lie there taking a look at. Oh, so this is where things are going to start getting fun. Uh-oh. That's going to be a flashbang into death.
One at the house.
You were seeing stars right from the bat. 6 players left alive now. You can see, looks like Bootless. And your boy Todd.
Yeah, they got to push their way up that hill, but there's a couple of teams. Yeah, Carrie's Mod and Theokel's Law are both looking down on him. So, I mean, if Bootless gets the flank, maybe. But I don't know if Todd's actually looking up at him. Bootless does get the down, but he's actually knocked down by the safe zone, it looks like there.
Yeah, he does.
As Todd comes up, is able to pick off him, clearing out that team. But I don't know if Todd's going to be able to save him.
No, he's not. He's going to die. He's going to die immediately. There's going to be 4 players left alive. One of them is his teammate. His teammate's going to end up going down. So it's a 1v2 situation
1v2.
as he's got himself a Car 98.
All right, Todd's going to need to make a pretty sick play here if he wants to close this out. Kvetsky and Horkin closed in on him.
Oh, no.
And it looks like, okay, Todd knocks down Kvetsky. He's got himself in a 1v1 situation with most of his health if he can finish off. But does he know where the enemy is?
Is it trials and tribulations of practicing with you made him understand how to have to play alone when his teammate actually dies? As a result, it's now a 1v1 situation. He's going to get himself a little bit of a spray. That's going to be just enough damage. It might have been enough, actually, to interrupt the res. Going to try to see if he can get himself out around the corner. Try to get himself a little bit of recoil. That's going to be the finish kill.
Kvetsky.
It's now Horkan versus Todd. Last 2 left remaining. 4 members have already gone down. Remember, both of these players have fragged themselves out quite a large amount. Oh, no, that's a lot of damage, but he's still got the first aid.
From his side. That armor, by the way, totally gone.
Yeah, it's all going to just now be forcing Todd to be able to try to hit these shots.
He doesn't seem like he has a good eye on where the enemy is.
He has no idea where he is right now.
He gets the shot off there. He's realizing. He takes a few more.
You duck and you dodge. Am I going to go left? Am I going to go right? Is it the zig? Is it the zag? He zagged when he should have zigged. Horkan picks up the kill for his team. The match is over, and just like that, Kvetsky as well as Horkan walk away with the winner chicken dinner.
And that's our first match here for the European qualifier today. Not too shabby. I can't lie. Put a smile on my face. Seeing a buddy like mine do that well.
It's a good confidence booster, right?
He plays a lot. You know, the last time I was doing some competitive PUBG myself, I was like, Todd, you free? He's like, I have to do something. I am busy today. I'm like,
someone clip that.
He's good.
And send it to Todd.
He's playing well. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah?
I'm so proud. Yeah.
It's a transitional high five for him. They will walk away with second place. You still have to give the victory, the winner chicken dinner indeed, over to Kvetsky as well as Horkan.
Those guys tore it up, and they got lots of kills too.
They did.
So point-wise, they should be. I think that's a pretty easy #1 for them.
They're going to be sitting hot and heavy, primed and loaded. We're going to kick ourselves to a quick break. When we come back, map number 2 of the European region. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Broadcaster Royale. My name is Jump. I'm joined here with the attack helicopter, Moses himself. Had a nice little burrito in the back. How is your burrito, sir?
Well, you know, every time I have a burrito, I say it'll be the last time, but this time I'm serious. That's the last burrito I'm ever going to eat.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. We just finished. We just finished map number 1. We were over at Santa. Look, the burrito's getting to me now. I'm like burping in the middle.
Pre-burrito broadcasting is never good. But
it's never a good thing to do. But you're right. We just went to Santa. We saw a lot of kills, a lot of action, and a pretty exciting finish as well.
Yeah, I really like the way that a lot of these players kind of started slow, but as the game progressed, you can start to see players Jonesy here, unfortunately unable to finish that kill and gets destroyed. But it was good to see. We did see Kavitsky last week as well. So
I thought we did. Okay, I wasn't having a brain lapse in that instance, but him and his teammate Horkin were both picking up kills throughout the large part of that game.
And they found the bush camper as well. So good to see Wacky Jackie and Ponyoff all having a decent game. Mythrain here as well. So we got some big names in this lobby, and Wacky Jackie fresh off his appearance at the PGI Charity Invitational. He's had the experience, he's been there, so now let's see if he can translate that into some more victories here with his teammate Spreezy, who is highly skilled in his own right, and here's the ending situation. Unfortunately for Todd, unable to close it out. You can see the disappointment on his face, but still a good finish for him.
It was indeed. Being able to turn these situations around, and I think that that's something that we've actually seen a couple members do a very good job. Our play of the day from the APAC region explicitly revolved around that 1v2 situation. The top 2 members going down were the top 2 finishes for that APAC region. And while we're actually on that topic, we want to make sure to let you guys know about how that APAC region ended up finishing out. Remember, the top of that for the qualified teams is Juan Mercedes, which had Juan and Mercedes themselves being able to secure themselves some victories, as well as Gegla Oaks, Arya, SKR, and Dosarak to round out that top 5.
That's a great in-game name. That's honestly looks like he just face rolled his keyboard. It was just like, this is my username now. But we did see a lot of consistency from that team. They picked up a lot of kills on the way to that first place victory. But looking down the list, there are some names missing. We had an interesting situation with FIFA Targaryen and Escalucia for Myth, where apparently Targaryen's only job through the entire game was to feed Escalucia ammo and guns.
He was a pack mule. That's
exactly,
all he was.
He was the water boy of that team. They still managed to find themselves in 7th place on the back of the heroic water boy effort. But otherwise, it was an interesting time to see a lot of these Thai players mixing up with the Koreans and the different styles there. But overall, a good time in the APAC region.
And I don't, unfortunately, see your anime girl.
I don't see her on there either.
I don't see. I was browsing every single name, looking to try to find it, but unfortunately, she will not
we
make
did see her die a lot, though.
We did see her die a lot. So unfortunately, Yuwu is not gonna end up making it. But the APAC region has concluded. Don't forget, you can head over to broadcasterroyale.com. That way you can find out those finishes as they do happen as well. We just showed them on screen. You guys can clip that, go back, do all the delightful things that is that, and what else you can do with that hashtag. I'm just going off.
Are you running out of steam? Because I'm going to leave you hanging out to dry.
I'm just gonna wait until No, actually, head over to Twitter. Use the hashtag Broadcaster Royale. Let us know who you think is gonna win. You've got some exciting opinions. Twitter is full of exciting. Twitter is full of exciting opinions. I know Moses and I are very fond of the exciting opinions that Twitter likes to create.
Don't tweet me your exciting opinions. Only medium to low-end excitement for Twitter for me. I'd like to keep my Twitter very calm and collected.
Oh, yeah. Right. Anyway, we're headed over to the OG itself. We're headed to Erangel. And the question that we asked them to put on Twitter, who do you think is going to win? And now I'm going to put that question onto you, my good sir Moses. You are familiar with many of the players in this lobby. Is there a favorite?
I think that the overall pound-for-pound favorite would likely be Kavitsky and Horkan. They are pro-level players. I've seen a lot from them in the past. I think the fan favorite would probably be Wacky Jackie and Spreezy, maybe closely there, followed by Ponyoff and his teammate that I can't recall. But regardless, I think that in Erangel we'll kind of see who can play that pro-style game. The EU region is a highly competitive region. We do see some wacky things happening in the APAC region just due to the play styles, but really the EU region is so competitive that I imagine we'll be seeing a lot more of a conservative play style from a lot of these guys. We saw Ponyhoff, camping most of the first half of that game, showcasing all that skill that we often see on his stream. So and Mithrain's in here too. Mithrain's a big name as well. So we'll see if the Turkish sensation can continue to show his skill.
What was the most politically correct answer to who do you think is the favorite?
I picked 7 people.
You did pick 7 people. You definitely deserve your seat as a caster. So if anyone out there was questioning, as we know there's at least one person that's questioning why Moses is sitting at this desk, you definitely are proved wrong now because he just gave you 7 options.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you pick a winner. You just pick 7. There.
That's gambling, right?
There's Wacky Jackie, secretly 6'5". I learned at
Is
PGI.
he really?
He's pretty tall. He's like a good inch taller than I am, so I think he's like 6'4".
Okay.
Wacky Jackie, known primarily in the PUBG community for his bi-weekly Monster Truck magazine that he puts out via PDF every week. So if you haven't...
Wait, is this true?
Yeah, absolutely.
Please tell me more.
Well, I mean, I think it all started back when PUBG first came out. He was still doing the newsletter. At that time, it was just a newsletter. Since his popularity has risen so much, he's now expanded to a magazine. But for Wacky Jackie, a lifelong monster truck enthusiast, and really has translated well into the PUBG landscape.
I'm so intrigued. I'm utterly intrigued. Switching on over here to Ponyhoff. He does have, you can see the towel on his head as well as the slippers and the towel, which is the best segue that I could have created that I didn't actually ever have to create at all. The Spot A crates are available with Twitch Prime. You can get yourself a lavender-laced travel pillow, a purple towel to drape across your head, as well as a variety of other delightful things that you can find yourself in acquiring of if you end up going to a spa, a Twitch spa specifically.
Here we have Mithrain. Looting here at the small mill to power plant.
Quick, if you like.
Very large Turkish audience here from Mithrain, as you can see, who is definitely on your screen right now.
It's open for us for looting. I guess we should go.
And look at what we have for this circle. We had a Snovska Island finish in our first region of the day with APAC, and it looks like we're headed back south again.
No, I haven't.
I'm just blasting past that.
You know what? I think that we saw this same circle earlier. The only thing I'm concerned about is the player count at this stage.
There are 46 players left alive. Now, there are specific rules and regulations on players joining themselves to lobbies, as well as everything of the market. So if they're not in the lobbies when the lobbies need to go, then unfortunately there's not much you can really do about it.
Well, that's that then. But this circle is super far south, and really so much water involved that it's going to be difficult to find a place to call home. So we saw this in the first game of Erangel, actually. The last time we were doing the APAC region, so we'll see if we get the same level of nautical hijinks we saw in that game. But Todd here, almost getting that chicken dinner last game around.
Can't enter yet. Upstairs.
So we are getting confirmation that it looks like while some of these players might be fantastic PUBG players, they're actually maybe not as efficient at following a clock. As the time that they were supposed to be in the lobby and ready to go expired before that lobby began, thus resulting in 24 out of, or sorry, 26.
Damn.
No, yeah, 24 out of the possible 33 teams that were in the lobby that we were supposed to be seeing today.
Well, that definitely increases the amount of chances for Wacky Jackie here, noted monster truck enthusiast, to win this game.
Maybe they're reading his. Maybe that's why they missed it. They were reading his release.
I don't know if he had a new article. He does. He's pretty consistent with it, but I don't think the monster truck news this week was particularly interesting.
Are you a frequenter of the articles themselves?
No,
because I'm very curious to what those kind of those articles like.
Well, he's a big Gravedigger fan. He does talk a lot about the historical run of Gravedigger as a monster truck, and I mean, there's so much going on in that world now. It's kind of like wrestling. I can't follow it all, but for Wacky Jackie, huge passion of his. And, I mean, impressed that he can keep so much going at the same time.
the ability to juggle is certainly something that you got to give credit where credit is due. As now we find ourselves with still 44 members left alive, and the other unfortunate situation is with a smaller lobby and a map as big as what we have. It looks like we're going to have yet ourselves another slow and steady kind of game. But this kind of now begs the question, and it is a question I must ask: will we see ourselves some bridge campers?
Very possible. It looks like I can't remember how to say his name. It's either Spike, I can't recall, but he's got one side of the bridge camp set up with his partner on the other side, so might have that going. Like the eye tracker here. You know, the problem with the eye tracker in this situation when you're looting these awful apartments is just how often you see that you're just staring at the ground, running from room to room. I
need to train my eyes. Just look at the ground. Just look at the ground.
I stopped looting these apartments probably 6 months ago, and I've never been back.
Really?
Looting in the apartments is just grating. It's
give me an analogy. What is the equivalent feeling that you have? While
it's like if you took every individual beard hair on your face, all 17 of them, and plucked them out one at a time.
I have more than 17. Come on, man. I had to trim this beard today.
It's not chat. I'm telling you right now, if you say it's a mouse tracker, you're wrong. Okay. I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that it's clearly eye tracker. Why would he randomly mouse over to his map? Give your head a shake.
Give your own head a shake. I will shake my head, and I will shake your head for you.
Oh, there's a buggy here. 260.
All right. Well, we got ourselves a buggy.
Just like last game, we didn't want to front load all of the action for you guys. It is a slow and steady wins the race sort of broadcast that we're bringing you today. Lots of action, but not at the beginning.
Here's that bridge camp happening, potentially. I think you might have one of the compound ahead of him. You can hear the calls coming out. No shots landing in the driver compartment just yet. No tire exploding either, so relatively unscathed. Hopefully his partner makes it across as well.
It's about as lucky of a situation as you can have. And they're going to keep on going. They're going to go over the west side of Novo and head towards the southern part of the island. We can actually take a look at...
Oh, that was a bridge camp. That was a very ineffectual bridge camp.
I don't think it was a bridge camp. I think it was like
they're in choke point hold.
Like a bridge overlook. Like we're gonna look at it, but I don't know if we want to like completely commit to it. Or something of the sort. Taking a look at the map that we have now, the first circle has started, so it is a trek that plenty of these members are going to have. People aren't too far out. We see most everybody with vehicles, especially our lone rangers over there at North George Pole. Have found themselves a vehicle, group themselves together, and down south they go. The road trip begins.
I've just been informed that I called it a mouse tracker. Did I not say eye tracker? I thought I did. Whatever. I'm not allowed to be wrong. That's part of being a broadcaster. I get to decide the narrative. Never wrong.
I could just hear production. I could hear just production. Moses thinks he's right all the time.
Yeah, they should make a note of it. Chat too.
Chat will make a note. I think they're just mad that they didn't get the codes 2 weeks ago when we gave codes away on stream.
That's not my fault. I had nothing to do with that.
No, you read them out loud and clear. It's their fault for not redeeming.
Sen nasıl girdin oradan ya? Ha.
Oh.
Cam kırmadan nasıl girdin?
Heard some glass break. Not sure if that was the partner coming in.
Arkamdan iyiyim, koy beraber çıkalım.
I definitely have a habit of doing that with my friends. Coming in and just blasting through the window. What's wrong? Was somebody there? Nah, I just didn't want to go through the door.
I don't know what it is with this graphic setting, but it looks like, I think it's the digital vibrance mixed with
like
the low graphic
You're
settings.
in a dream.
Yeah.
It's like you're in a dream right now.
It's very saturated.
It's like it's like all the movies where they end up, I don't know, doing something around a fire and you end up getting into dreamland.
Are you talking about drugs?
No. No. I'm not talking about drugs.
This is a family broadcast.
I'm not talking about drugs.
Okay, get your Joshua Tree experiences out of here, all right?
I was just playing Far Cry Primal, and they had one of the tribe members that kind of just like touches you on the forehead, and you go into like the dream spirit world. Come on, man.
Yeah, I should have made that connection immediately.
You should have.
I was close.
Just entered the barn door.
For Ponyhoff.
Almost took off his finger.
So now he knows we're here.
We are seeing he is getting a solid 140 FPS. Not bad.
Yep. It's pretty good.
Yeah, you know. trying to find some positives for him.
Yeah, I mean, well, the one thing I love about Ponyoff, one of the things that I think really sets him apart from other streamers is the fact that he went through the arduous surgery to have a smile permanently implanted on his face. He's unable to. He's unable to frown, Ponyoff. It's shows how dedicated he is.
To the ones that are actually asking Moobot who's casting, it is definitely not Lisa May and Matchroom.
I'm surprised.
Even though
actually, your vocal tones are very similar. There it is. There's that beautiful voice.
42 players left alive. We are still on the slow roll of this first circle, trying to come in and force everybody up across the bridge. And we actually do have ourselves some bridge campers now. It actually looks like two teams that are going to be fighting off against each other on the north side of this this eastern bridge. And they're just hanging out.
Yep.
Couple warning shots.
There's not essentially like chat. I'll be real with you. All right. There's not a lot of people in this lobby right now.
Let's have a real talk moment with chat right now.
We did not, like many teams are missing. This is a very large circle with a lot of water in it, and Ponyoff is executing the strategy that we expect masterfully here by laying prone. Interior. I mean, he could go up and get something to eat right now. I think if he wanted to. Maybe.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, big boy gun close to us.
It's just the weight game.
Judging by his camera angle, he's actually 8 feet tall.
He does have that kind of. It's just low enough where it's like looking up at him.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like really short, and that's how he. That's how he just like makes him seem like that much taller on camera.
The chat has identified my co-caster as some random.
Wow. I mean, all right. Well, that's that'll work. I mean,
at some random on Twitter, please.
No, it's not at some. Oh God. I feel bad for that poor soul now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely just the random guy. The random guy with a much smaller beard than Moses.
Arabayla mı arabasız mı? Geldim.
Başka araba. Mercy.
Evet. Bir de kıyıda durdu bir tanesi. Durmadı.
Let's actually, if we could, I want to see if we can take a look at Kvetsky and
I think they're one of the ones that didn't make it in.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's delightful.
That's why I was looking around.
That's
so
delightful.
They're not in this lobby. Mithrain and his partner are down in the south. And really, Wacky Jackie has Novo all by themselves. So really, the action is not probably going to start until we see this next shift come off the water. For Vic Reigns, he's got a line of sight trying to land it. Edberg goes down, and his partner tries to get away. Stuck in the gas station here. Looks like they're going to have to deal with this, but Vic Reigns has him hemmed in with that mini.
Gel onlar uğraşırken gel biz köprüye girelim gel. Başka araba girmeden gel köprüye girelim.
Having some really clear and concise communication right now, trying to see if they can find themselves out.
Hayır sana sesim geliyor mu?
That other person. We still have about 25% of this first circle to come in, as you said.
Yok öyle değil arabayla.
A little bit of a difference
Okay.
to kind of change things up. We can take a look at the mini map and actually take a look and see. We've got all of Nova that's going to be in eastern side of the military base. You can see the communication tower actually has a couple people up there just going and hanging out. Ponyhoff on that southeastern side. Just it's the weight game, ladies and gentlemen. It's the weight game.
You have to fight later. He has no helmet. It's a decent trade.
Breezy. I actually did a video on him way back in the day. Good player. I'm going to throw out a guess here. Don't get mad at me if I get it wrong. I believe he's from Croatia.
Really?
I think so, yes.
Shout out to the Croatians at the World Cup this year.
Pretty sure, yes.
Marking it. Probably won't get it anyway.
I'm gonna break these windows.
Sure.
So
we see the swimmers.
They're just going to hold there. I mean, Novo isn't center. They'll probably have to wind up going up the hill to the south.
Nice.
But for now, it's just really a hold here for most of these guys, except for Cito, who is now down at the fence. So, Arma is going to have to run down there and try and clean him up.
So while we're waiting, while we have this delightful intermission of action, what was your favorite thing about Berlin? Apart from the event, of course. The event doesn't count because naturally
honestly, I'll be 100% selfish. I have never in my life had someone walk up to me and ask me to sign or take pictures of stuff.
Okay. That's awesome.
The unfortunate part is they had no idea who I was. They were just bringing me merchandise to take pictures of for them. So I actually had a great interaction with a Wacky Jackie fan you know, he had his Gravedigger flag with him at the time, and he had no idea who I was.
Did they think you were like his manager or something? Can you get me Wacky Jackie's signature, please? You look like his manager or his bodyguard, one of the two.
No, it was great. I mean, having people come up to me and ask me for photos and signatures and stuff was very surreal, and just being a part of the event. Actually, the biggest thing for me was talking to all the PUBG Corp people, who most of the team was there. You know, all the community guys, the people who handle the Reddit, the Twitter, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They are such passionate individuals who are so invested in everything that, like, it was all hands on deck for the event, and it was all kind of during that first day, everyone was holding their breath to make sure it was all going to go well, and once it started to go and got the positive feedback, I think it really did a lot of good for them. People who see a lot of criticism from time to time, but are ultimately really great people behind the scenes. And we all had a great time. I was extremely lucky to be a part of it.
Well, I'm very glad to hear it. PGI definitely looked to be a very exciting, I think trendsetter, and just a whole new path that has been blazed for PUBG esports and everything that is to follow, and doing it to the extravagant nature, both from a visual standpoint. I mean, clearly you've got the beautiful stage, but just the action and seeing how participants from all over the world really came together to compete, you know, the highest level of play, and regions that I know when we were talking about this a couple weeks ago before the event, you were interested to see how some of the Asian regions were actually going to compete, and from what we saw, they really stood up to the plate.
Yeah, I mean, OMG coming out of not nowhere. I think I just didn't give them enough respect as a team, mainly being mostly exposed to the Western Europe region. We will see circle shift going south out of Novo, past the military base, and actually centering around the coast region. This is going to be good for Ponyhoff and his teammate. And there's this match in a nutshell: just two guys hanging out in the ocean.
It's what you want to do on just a Saturday afternoon. You don't want to hang out in the speedboat. Just right outside the speedboat. Just, you know, relax, see what you can do. Wacky Jackie and Spreezy back into themselves a little buggy. Just hanging out and relaxing. We're hanging out with you, Twitch chat. That's what we're doing today.
We're hanging out. And I mean, I do see a lot of requests in the chat for codes. I think we might be able to sneak one in here at the end of this game. So production, just give you a little bit extra time at the end there, and we'll make sure we get one out for everybody. So just be ready at the end. So for Wacky Jackie, they've now come out, still trying to get away from Novo.
From the windows here on the bottom.
And I think they've got a little bit of time to maneuver. But we'll see.
Something in a way.
I think they're just kind of waiting to see the circle come in, play it safe, ride the circle into the zone, up the hill.
33 players left alive. Still a lot of water left in play, but with the way that the circle has just shifted, it is going to force a large majority of these players to kind of come on through. We actually, you know what? Let's take a look at the mini-map real quick, because I need to point this out. We can see the mini-map. You guys can't. I don't know if they're actually don't be. I don't know if we can zoom out a little bit on their screen. But on the bottom left of your screen, you see Xeon. I see you, buddy, chilling there as far away from humankind as possible. Don't think that you're avoiding our gaze. We are the omnipotent in this situation.
He's actually leaving the map. He's going to try and make it to Miramar or something like that.
Bye, guys. I'm going to go on vacation. I hear Stanok is on this right of the side. Oh, there we go.
Pawny's taking shots at Spreezy and Wacky on the way through. Looks like they are going to get through relatively unscathed unless Pawny can hit a long-distance shot here. He's got the line, doesn't have the angle, and it will go short, unfortunately.
You can hear the groan coming from Ponyhoff himself. He does see Xeon out, wondering why someone is out there venturing so far away from land. And there he is, just like that. Xeon has a kill.
I think he killed his teammate. They were out to sea too long. He had to eat him.
That's why he's sitting on so many bandages. Just took his meds.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at this. He's just.
Oh,
you hate to see it.
I mean, he's been out there collecting all the crates in the water after devouring his teammate.
I mean, we did see a win today where the only kill that was acquired by the winning team was the final kill of the game. And at the end of the day, that's the only one that really matters.
Yeah, the last kill is the most important.
On top of us, northwest, on the hill.
So we've seen Pawny relatively active in the compound he's been holding for the last 15 minutes or so. But now the circle has begun to shrink once again, and we're about to see another transition.
No, they just ran.
So we will likely see Ponyhoff having to leave the confines of this building he's been holding on to, And there's Mythrain, another fan favorite. Got the DP and a nice position on the edge of the circle. He too will likely have to move here very shortly.
32 players still left alive, guys. We are at just over the 19-minute, 50-second mark, so there's only potentially 16 minutes left in this as we take a look in. I would love to see if his life is as dramatic as that gray screen, the gray screen on that. Because he's angled down.
Dramatic, yeah.
He's angled down, so you get this this different angle on his eyes, the glasses, and then the gray screen just like completely changes everything.
Like he could be playing video games or doing some accounting. Like it's either way. So looks like we do have the circle shifting a little bit further to the north. The water has come all the way out. Xeon is going to have to give up the nautical lifestyle. Mythrain will have to make his way north, but it looks like Wacky Jackie and Spreezy have a decent hold on the coast to see if they can try and pick up some kills on those coming in from the water. They're already taking shots at Xeon way out long distance.
Okay.
150 guys getting in the boat. He's in the water.
A couple shots coming out. There you go. Wacky Jackie has spotted him.
He's so far away. I mean, it's just...
do you trust Wacky Jackie's aim this far away?
It's difficult to hit that shot with the M4 and the 4X, but...
I'm not peeking because of the other guys, but he's coming in on yellow.
Just trying to make sure that there's no one sneaking up on the coast.
So they get scared.
Still 31 players. He does have that silencer on, so could help him out a little bit. Doesn't want to still give away. You could hear him communicating with his teammate that he didn't want to push up over the ridge too hard and peek, as worry that somebody might be coming up. As now the Cobra, it's his turn.
Coiled up and lurking.
He is. Don't come in my domain.
He's in his little pit there.
Oh yeah.
Any moment now, an enemy could come into my sights, and I have to be ready.
And my fangs will be ready to latch and go.
He's holding the lean. He's probably ADS'd and everything, just ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Spreezy actually ends up picking up a down there on a Colin.
Slowly riding the circle in. Everyone playing that conservative style, but there's only 30 players left in the lobby, so there's still enough space. Ponyhoff has found himself yet another teammate, or another enemy to shoot at. See if he can land some shots here. As we come back to Wacky Jackie, still plinking away, trying to get some shots onto that boat. You can see the intensity on his face. Shoot him! Hey!
I believe in you.
Jolanda going down. Ponyhoff is struck. Found himself a headshot. Going to try and push now. The circle on the way in.
His facial expressions certainly match the sounds and the grunts that he makes, as well as everything's happened.
He's got a 1-to-1 face-to-grunt ratio.
He is. You can watch his entire stream on mute and know everything that's going on. He like lifts up in his chair when something happens. He sighs very audibly as well as physically.
Yeah. Physical size.
Physical size. Very big the way that his camera's making it seem. Oh, and look, there's a drop.
Yay! There's a dead guy. So
yeah. Not the zone. That was my plan.
Just trying to run in on the edge here, trying to clean up those coming in a little bit late.
He's running.
Oh, there we go. See if he's going to switch to the car 90 here, looking for the flashy shot. Probably want the AR in that situation, but he will switch off to the Scar.
On top of the hill.
Yeah, he should be 340 best.
Yuki there with him. Oh. Meanwhile, Jonesy trying to get some angles here. Will find it. Doesn't hit as much as he would want to, and Ponyhoff will finish him. And Ponyhoff was very low there, only about 2 or 3 HP away from going down himself.
First kill of the game for them. 22 members left alive, so thankfully we're whittling it down a little bit faster. Speezy ends up picking that kill on Yolanda. Or gets the down rather. We can actually take a look at where our next circle is going to take us, as this is where the big decision is going to be made.
Finally, these people are within like 100 or 200 meters of each other, and we will see another shift going relatively to the east.
And look at Cobra. Cobra is still in his pit. He thankfully was able to stay at exactly where he wanted. Xeon, our delightful speed boatist, has beached his
speed boatist.
Speed boatist. What do you call a professional speed boater?
Probably a professional speed boater.
Or a speed boatist.
Or a pilot or something. I don't know.
A pilot?
Or a captain?
Planes.
Maybe a captain.
Maybe a captain.
First mate. Mate. So Wacky Jackie here trying to put some more pressure long distance with that 4X, still trying to find something.
I'm checking around the right.
They don't have any boosts, as you can see. Both of them only at 75 or 80% health.
Guy close probably on our right side.
He's starting to get the sense that there might be someone to his right, as you just heard him say. And it looks like our friends here with the very film noir cam angle, looking down, trying to finish off the kill that they've just started.
Ten první strom, jo, ten tlustek.
Jo, hnedka u nás byl. Bude zvedat možná. Druhý po ním.
Just trying to find something here. They know there's someone down there. The circle again about to close. I think they would be better just to retreat to the zone and let these guys come to them, because the circle's on the way. There's almost no. Oh, actually, do they have to run? No, they have to run away from them. So they can just get away and get to the zone. That would be the beneficial move here, because right now they're just taking a high-low fight outside the zone. Gotta know what time it is.
Spreezy, Wacky Jackie's teammate, ends up very low. Oh, tries to get a little bit of a couple shot, but Wacky Jackie ends up coming up short onto that.
They're safe.
22 members still left alive. Spreezy does a good job of getting himself healed back up. They've got this bottom side of the circle. They have no reason to really push out too far. They've got a visual on where somebody is on the other side. It does actually look like they might want to try to do a flank, but instead he's going to come out, hide right behind the rock. It's going to be it's going to be the whack-a-mole.
Close.
Knocked.
And the mole has been whacked.
Mole has been whacked. AK spray comes out, trying to follow up with the M4, see if he can get some shots here. They've got these guys pretty much stuck on this rock. Oh, a lot of damage going in. Loggybuff will knock down Wacky Jackie. Spreezy throwing the defensive smoke right away. Now it's a 1v1 situation. Loggybuff has enough health to probably take it to Spreezy if he's not careful. Oh, and the nade follow-up. Loggybuff not allowing any time and space there, so now it's going to be Spreezy moving on alone.
You could see the frustration that was on Jackie Wacky's face right after we, right before we swapped off onto him. 16 members left alive. Coldamenta ends up taking down Felix, as it looks like Yuki and Ponyhofer still find themselves alive.
Can only see that
the slow and steady route they have taken themselves on. Taking a look at the circle of what we see, Edinburgh's actually in snake mode. Oh, he might be able to get off onto here. Really good job to keep himself nice and patient. And you can see the face. Dun dun.
Is he alive? I was wondering.
No, he's alive, yeah.
No, his face, I mean. He's staying perfectly still.
His camera's frozen. It's just frozen in place like that. There's nothing else that he can do right now.
Have you ever seen one of those things where it's actually a picture but it's alive?
Like a camera? Like a camera?
That's a throwback. Do you not remember that? Yeah, you probably wiped it from your memory.
Yeah, I didn't really want to. I didn't really
want to go back there.
Yeah, I didn't want to go back there.
Got it.
No, I didn't want to go back there. So tell me about Pogs. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're not going to go down that road.
Ponyhoff holding.
Yeah, one is behind the US now.
Just basically waiting for any movement here. You can see the other team's perspective.
Yeah, we've got Alp TV and Lai. 14 players still left alive. That's 10 teams, mind you. So we've got a lot of solo players that are coming and hanging out.
So now we're down to the top 14 circle, another 10 or 15 seconds or so before it starts moving again. Really just holding angles. I think that if there's more players in this lobby... Oh, nice headshot there. Landed, I think. So Lai and Alp. Circle on the move. They've got this guy completely zoned, I think. He will eventually have to move from his spot.
Yeah, and you can see the spread. If you take a look at the big circle, the map, that way we can show exactly where everybody is. We've got a couple players that actually decided to go, or not, they haven't decided to go down. Other people decided for them. They're going to end up fall. That's going to be 11 left alive as this next circle is closing in. We've got a few members. One of the duos actually is on the southern side of this circle. They're going to trying to lure themselves, or not lure, trying to lurk themselves around. Words are just
it's
not.
Hard. That's okay. I like the idea of luring yourself somewhere.
Luring yourself. the ultimate bait is when you bait yourself.
Yeah. Ponyhoff on the way in.
Ponyhoff is looking on the northeastern side, but we've also got the solo player of Loggy going up against Alp TV, one of the players that we had just saw. Meanwhile, Edberg, our camera that's not moving, that is actually alive but is not actually a camera, has not stopped. He saw Clemente actually a couple minutes ago come across, couldn't get a good enough shot, and didn't know where his teammate was.
He looks like he is staring a hole through his monitor right now.
Oh, he's staring into the souls of his enemies.
I can just imagine like the wall across from him setting on fire. Like
it's like you're in like a public place or something of that sort. And you can feel someone like staring at you, and you have to do everything you can.
The
and
person
you're trying
in the
to figure
next
out.
building can feel him staring at him.
100%. His entire chat is just getting this like perpetual feeling in the back of their head as they're watching. They're going, I feel it. Let me give you my energy. It's nuts.
Aldım.
He's worried about those coming closer to him. I just see Ponyhoff down and finished, so that's him out. And now we'll see. Spreezy's still holding on.
Definitely did.
I believe. I'm trying to read the tiny names on the mini map across from us, but
Yuki's still alive. Just got himself dinked. Doesn't have a helmet. Has lots of damage on that level 2 vest, and so now it's going to be just bandage himself up.
Not getting there. You know, we should have not gotten there. Yuki plays for position now, guys. He's just going to stay until the shrink happens and then run in.
And that's enough out of that.
It's commentary.
He's trying to give us some insight that he's got to play for placement now because he's.
And look at the sleeping panda.
He's just a sleepy panda.
That's adorable.
So it looks like Yuki's going to have to make a run here. The circle is going to move again in another 20 seconds. He only has bandages, not a lot of meds left. Boost is maxed. He's going to have to make a mad dash for this thing.
Sağ üstüm sıkıntı abi. Bakabiliyor musun oraya?
Bakıyorum.
Sarılı bir adam vardı çünkü sağ üstünde.
Alpenlai still taking the slow route. Just because the circle has gotten smaller and smaller does not mean that the play style here that we've seen in the first couple games has changed. It is all about the patience for these players. We can actually, if we can take a look at the mini map as well, and see what we have right now. We've got a good little spread from most of these players. I really like this spread out that you have coming from Out and Lai. They're trying to throw some shots down on a Winghaven Cold. Meanwhile, our team number 2, Edberg, he's actually moving now.
Spreezy's out too, so that's I think it's Wacky Jackie's team outside the top 10. Coldamenta making that mad dash. Edberg, we lost Edberg. He can now blink. Oh, dang! There goes Edberg.
And just like that.
Shot he did.
So he moved.
Yeah.
So we know the camera's working.
Yeah, he's actually inhaling.
And everybody in his Twitch chat can finally breathe again.
Edberg.exe has been rebooted. So Coldamenta, Coldamenta. Yeah, we are okay. This is it's someone spectating Coldamenta is what's happening.
Yes.
I was confused because they're both alive.
Everybody wants to watch Coldamenta.
So I believe another pro player or pro level player, and they have themselves now in a top 5 situation. 3 more to kill. At least for now. Looks like Lai is going to have to try and get a res onto his down teammate, but this is looking like they have a good shot at this. Nice.
That Hives guy.
Really smoked him.
Great little reaction there by Clemente. Winghaven, though, is at full HP. We have 4 players left alive. It is a 2v2 situation.
I think that might have been the Alma.
So it looks like it's going to be a 2v2 situation.
That's what
I know. I think it's going to be a 2v2 situation here.
Yeah. So there's going to be 2 players on one side of the map, 2 players on the other side of the map. It's going to make 4 players left alive.
I think they're going to. They might have to go at each other here.
There's an opportunity. There's a road in the middle that one of them might have to cross, or they might not have to. But regardless, they're probably going to have to shoot at each other. Preferably at the other team. Friendly fire is enabled, so going to have to.
And just while we wait for this to develop, a friendly reminder to those in chat wondering, it is okay that there are players better than you at this game. Not everyone is cheating.
This is true. Just because they shoot you before you shoot them does not mean that they are cheating.
All right. Here's the run. Here's the potato. Really good effort. Trying his best out there.
SKS, the number 1 whiff machine in a lot of ways. Or at least definitely when I play this game.
Yeah, SKS can be a cruel mistress sometimes, but they do have this ridge to work with, and it looks like they're going to have to come down to them. Ooh, shot through the smoke. Coldamenta's down.
Winghaven's the only one left alive.
Now a 2v1 situation,
yes,
if you will.
There are 3 players left alive, which makes 2v1. You can see the sprays coming out from Alp here. He wants to try to see if he can get a full finish off. He's just going to rush for it and hope his teammate can
They're going for it.
Yeah, there's no reason to wait. There's nothing that they can hide behind. They'll have to come over this ridge, but they're going to have to make sure that they get a good little position on it. If they don't have it, he's going to get down. That's going to be a live 1v1 situation now. Coldamente ends up picking that kill, and so the rush does not work out. Coldamente, as well as Winghaven, walk away with the winner chicken dinner.
That was a nice turnaround there. That looked like Coldamente's squad was on the back foot, but they do turn it around and secure that victory as Perry Moans of Winghaven and Coldamente pick up a chicken dinner.
I want to say it's fancy. Perimones.
Perimones?
Perimones.
I don't have an accent, and I'm Canadian, so I don't know how to say anything that isn't very clearly English. So
Canadian English.
Canadian English, which is
just it's a dialect where you everything you say is just translated into I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that he has to be here as well.
So map number 2 just ended. We're going to kick to a break in just a second, but before we go, last week Moses gave away some codes. For those of you that were able to hear, congratulations, you guys have the codes. For those of you that weren't able, maybe you couldn't, some people are audio. Some people are audio learners.
Be ready.
Some people are visual learners. So what we decided to do is we actually decided to write the codes down on the piece of paper for you.
Take a screenshot.
So now you can take a Twitch clip. You can go to Twitter, use the hashtag Broadcaster Royale, so you know when it is. All right, are you ready? Make sure you have PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds open.
Redeem in game.
This is for the ringside set from the PGI. 3, 2, 1.
Hey.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Broadcaster Royale here. I'm Nathanius, joined by a man with very, very smooth hands. How you doing, Moses?
That's what they say about me out in the streets.
Yeah.
I'm a man.
This is very, very quickly solved problem.
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Aaron Gell was good. Hopefully everyone knows what time it is and can get into their lobby this time around. But
yeah,
that was an interesting game. We saw some of the big names staying long into that round. So
yep.
Good round.
Nice long match. Some of the highlights here. Some great shots being grabbed. Twitch chat's been talking about Yolanda all day long. Watch him get smacked down like that. A lot of big plays out of our boys over here as we went through this last game.
Yeah, I really like that. This is unfortunate for Wacky. He knew the grenade was coming and was unable to avoid it. But we also saw Edberg stuck in the grass, staring at everyone. But really, there he is. Edberg getting shot at long distance. But it was a great game. Cole Dementa, a great player in his own right, ends up turning this one around and securing the victory at the end. And that was a really nice play by him. Clutch win.
Awesome pickup, of course, as we moving forward, getting more points and securing those kills, getting more points. Just to quickly remind you guys of the format here at the Broadcaster Royale. It's 4 qualifiers, 2 from the Invitational path, 2 from the Open path. Regions all over the world. This morning we did the APAC region, and now we're doing Europe as we are in our second Invitational qualifier. These all feed into regional qualifiers where anybody from a small-time streamer to a Twitch superstar comes together to fight for their spot at the grand finals, which is going to be awesome. $300,000 up for grabs, and that could go to some big fancy streamer you know, or some random other guy.
I mean, that's a lot of stream decks, that's a lot of webcams, that's a lot of everything.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, a $300,000 payday for a duo tournament is pretty insane. So that could be life-changing money for those trying to go pro, or those just trying to maybe put that in the bank and go full-time on stream. You never know.
Yeah. And if you know any of these players that are trying to work their way up the Twitchverse, they're making some great plays here at the Broadcaster Royale. Make sure to tweet them at us with the hashtag Broadcaster Royale. Send us your Twitch clips, and maybe find some cool stuff. I found this cool card. I think it was Jump's codes. He didn't get to show them to you guys. This was what he had for me. So I guess, redeem that somewhere.
I had nothing to do with that. I was under the impression.
I just found it on my desk. This was just here, If you have any complaints, direct them to Jump as much as you possibly can.
Hashtag Broadcaster Royale complaints.
Yeah.
That's the alternate hashtag.
And if you want a deal that's not a ruse, check out the Spa Crates, exclusive for Twitch Prime members today here at PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. It's awesome. You get your loungewear. We've been talking about the neck resting pad metagame.
Yep.
It is going up. All right, people are buying tons of stocks on that neck rest.
My favorite feature of that neck pillow is the damage reduction to neck shots it does, and that was a choice made by a few people behind the scenes. But interesting to see how that mechanic has been affecting regular gameplay.
Yep, and yeah, we're getting ready to get into our next game. We're going to be going to Sadak again, as we've had a really exciting long day. I think.
On Sandhawk.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of experience on this map so far, and we'll see if these typically passive players.
What's your favorite spot on Sandhawk?
I think that it's. I think the boot camp is always a fun time if you can get through it, but. I mean, the map itself is fun to play. I really like the camps, though. Just it's good for practicing, which is great on this map.
Yeah, I'd agree. I like ruins a lot personally. So we do our little fly through. There's my ruins.
There it is. Oh, the cave is a cool spot too, where you kind of parachute into the opening and.
Yeah, and if you miss and then you land on the ground, you just kill yourself at the very start of the game. That's definitely never happened to me. I'm not bitter.
Yeah, sometimes the parachute kind of collapses a little too early and you plummet to your death. It's a feature.
Yeah. And your feet accidentally hit the sides of it as you see that match countdown. 3, 2, 1. And we'll be having that plane come across. It's cutting across from west to east. We've had a lot of them go from north to south. Do we think that makes a huge impact here?
I mean, we see a lot of players just kind of jump away from the plane path and try and get away and find their own little private loot spot, especially in the Euro meta, if you will. A lot of these guys just kind of prefer to get away and try to avoid those early game fights. But that often leads to a bunch of people winding up in the same spot because everyone wants to get away from that center spot. So we'll see if
let's land in the small house. No one will land there.
Exactly.
10 people.
I did that in my very first Twitch Invitational charity. I never thought that anyone would go military base, and I landed with Shroud and Chad 3 times in a row.
That's I'm very sorry for you.
We almost won the first one, but it was not to be. It looks like Wacky Jackie and Spreezy are going to be headed back to boot camp. We'll see if anyone tries to contest them there.
Yeah, I had a good match on the Twitch Rivals on this. I was doing with another streamer. I landed by Bond. There's like a couple of little areas. There's like nobody lands by Bond. And
Bontai?
Yeah.
Way down south.
So I did.
And it looks like you would be correct in this instance where there's literally nobody down there. Looks like Wacky Jackie and Spreezy will have some company. It's going to be Mythrain. That's going to be a lot of angry Turkish people if he goes down early. I actually killed Mythrain in a game once and instantly had 5,000 angry Turkish people telling me to do many different things to myself.
Well, hey, you know, engagement is engagement. If you really think about it, your social blew up. Those are great numbers. I hope you save those for your sponsors, man.
Yeah, I took a screenshot of both my chat.
Look how many people send me comments. These guys love me.
Yeah, it was an interesting day, but it looks like it's going to be a 2v2 situation here in the old boot camp. Wacky Jackie is locked in. I have never seen him so serious.
The ferocity has only been increasing as this has gone on. I think they're talking about that grenade kill in the last game. I think that's something that's probably still stewing a little bit under the lid of the pot.
Yeah, he wants some revenge, but for now he's just trying to get as much loot as he can. The thing with the boot camp is that it has lots of guns and stuff available, but finding those important attachments, those hollow sights and grips and what have you, is a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, and also important to note here, Wacky Jackie's team spread out over the boot camp. Meanwhile, as you were talking about Mythrain, him and his teammate close together. If they run into one of those two players, they should be isolated quite easily. The circle, though, is going to cut off a large part of the big island of the three.
Wacky Jackie.
Just go all the way around.
Really known for his, we talked about this earlier, his affinity for monster trucks, but also a big collector of model railway parts.
Really?
No trains, actually, just the actual tracks and scenery.
What?
Really likes to make, yeah, he has this huge thing in his basement. He's got this really lovely track, but he likes scenery and
He likes
train
the tracks and
but
the scenery.
he hates trains. It's really strange.
That's one of the strangest things I've ever heard. I like to build model airports, but with no planes. You know,
he's got a, you know, I mean, it all stems from his educational background as a sous chef, I think. Yeah,
these aren't connecting.
No.
Okay. I did not know any of these things, so this is I'm loving this. I'm getting educated. I just want to get a really, really nice, fancy car garage with no cars in it. That's
if you think about it, it's really cost effective.
Yeah.
This is where I keep all my cars. If I theoretically had any.
Welcome to my amusement park. We have a go-kart track. There are no go-karts, but, you know.
The maintenance was killer. We just couldn't keep it together.
You know, safety, regulations, fuel. No, we're good. Yeah, you know, the lower player count for the European qualifier a little bit also kind of affects that. It's easier for these players to spread out and avoid the early engagements. And you get that weird feeling, too, where you're like, it's quiet, it's too quiet. You know that most of the action is not going to take place until after the first or second circle.
Kind of fall into like a lull a little bit. Like, you know, it's all right, everything's great. You know, there's not a lot of people. Just take it nice and slow, and then you're running through a field and you get shot to death. That's PUBG in a nutshell.
Yeah. To be fair, that is for many people the first 100 games of PUBG they play. I think my very first game, I landed in some random road on the west side of Erangel. I'm like,
where do I go now?
I found a extended magazine for a handgun, nothing else, and some guy just walked up and shot me with a shotgun. I'm like, well, I guess
that sounds like the last 100 games of PUBG for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sometimes you just get that extended magazine for the handgun, and that's that.
Yeah, that was before I turned off the open voice chat as well. The person had some choice words for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you're a great dude, and I love your haircut, I think is what they normally say.
He said, I forgive you for not having a weapon. It's okay. Don't feel bad. You're new. That's what he said. Very encouraging.
That's what PUBG's community is known for, is how welcoming. And, I mean, especially on the subreddit. Really great discourse. Always positive there.
Oh, yeah. Never forget the days of press Z, follow me.
Yeah, that's a good one. I never heard the press Z variant. I've only ever heard I'm a snake.
Oh, it also gets the point across pretty well.
I like that one better. At least it rhymes.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, is like you say it like a jingle, and then everybody gets on the line. The player's pretty spread out, though. That circle on the west side, where do you think would be the most complicated place for this to finish. Where do things get messy if it closes in on one of these other parts?
The concept in this situation is map pressure, so you have to kind of look around the circle, see where most players are, where most players will have to come to. So it does look like around that boot camp region, you don't want to cross the water too many times, and it looks like it's going to be centering around that lower third of the map that we can kind of see down there. So I think that map pressure is going to build up around the boot camp area, and you can already see Wacky Jackie and Spreezy making their way out.
Is there pushing over there? There is that light bridge as well that they can use to cross and get into that position. A couple of the teams still out, way out northwest. Jolanda's team actually inside of the blue, not really making their way out too quickly. As I guess that's been interesting. Is Moman? I didn't even realize he was competing in this. I didn't see his name before. Moman's up on the northwest. He's another French esports person.
Is that his official title? French esports person?
Yeah, he does like commentary and stuff like that.
Got it. Yeah. I think the name rings a bell. Is he in the...
Pretty good RTS player.
I was going to say StarCraft. I imagine if you're crossing paths with him.
Yeah, him and Todd. I know a good few Europeans here.
I'm meeting the charge and going.
Love their PUBG though.
I completely agree.
It's strange to see how like across so many different games, because battle royale is such a new genre. Doesn't really matter what your background is.
It
Everyone's
appeals
kind of
to everybody. Yeah. It also has that great team game aspect. Like, whatever you like to play, you're like, well, I can pick this up and play it with 4 people, and you get like a good social experience.
Skopun var mı senin?
Squad third person
Tamam, ben geçiyorum karşıya.
globally the most popular game
Karşıya
mode.
koru beni. Sen
That is not surprising to me in the slightest.
Yeah, it's. I mean, obviously, third person, even in North America, is the dominant game mode. Obviously, the FPP fan base is very passionate, and I think around the competitive aspect, I think feels that it's the most fair game mode as well, and I think a lot would agree based on
the hardcore player base that takes it super seriously is always going to be the smaller portion, and then the more casual you get guys like this with you tie it around your head. Yeah, not exactly my favorite choice of material for a headband personally.
Well, he even has like the Windsor knot tied into it. Like
that's
he didn't just tie it around his head.
This guy's
like a proper knot.
This guy's like, honey, I'm home from work and I'm ready to kick ass. Like that's.
I put this tie on my head, make myself look silly. Get on the computer.
Go.
All right, so
a
couple of shots being fired here. I'm not sure how much exactly they've spotted. We may see the blood start to spill as we still have our 46 players alive.
Might have tied that thing too tight. Forgot he was at ammo.
Yeah, Chattoy, gotta be careful. Only 10 rounds, and he can pop off with that bad boy. And takes a couple shots in the back. He's knocked down.
No.
Ives.
You got, dude. It's a restriction. You got to let the blood flow through that head. Oh, he's so upset. Loosen your tie, buddy. Just relax.
You can't, take it from me. Don't have the headband on too tight. As someone who wears a headband when streaming, when playing games, I know this.
Are you a heavy head sweater?
No, it's just
for decoration.
It is just for the lulls.
I am a heavy head sweater. I should look into a headband.
I
never thought that I would sweat so much playing video games. I don't know about all you guys out there.
I'll send you some links. You ever see 5 cannons building in your mineral line at once? You learn. You get the composure required.
I just have that gif of from Key and Peele where it's just like pouring down his face. Yeah.
You said that though. You landed Pachinki though. We got a big engagement on the top side, and over here we see down.
Wow.
Great pick out there. Pony hop knocked down and ripped to pieces. So precious.
I was wrong about that.
Laying into him. He feels strongly about it, ladies and gentlemen.
But that's okay.
He, no matter what happens, we discovered this last game, a surgically implanted smile will never fade from Pony Hop's face.
No. The guy's too positive.
Yeah. 3
spooky positive.
Okay. Gotta make sure he's not a synth like that
just
thing.
Holding a position.
Yep.
That's the strategy.
Holding the mannequin position.
Was he trying to get onto the ceiling beam?
He's gonna get up onto the crossbeam and prone.
You can do that? Oh my goodness.
If there's something in this game that you didn't know about, Wacky Jackie discovered it first.
Okay, I did not know that you could literally walk on top of from the mannequin. Mannequins are OP.
One of his most popular videos, millions of views, is all the different ways you can use the mannequin on Sandhawk. It's called the Wacky Jackie Mannequin Guide.
I can see why he's a popular content creator.
He is very popular. Really revolutionized the mannequin meta.
Good. I'm glad that someone's out there fighting for the Sims. You know, making sure that those non-human humanoids get their rights.
Nikolai, is that me?
And that's why trying to take some long shots.
Spamming away.
Yeah, I mean he's got the suppressor. He can kind of pop off with a little bit of impunity, but not really able to get the kill that he was looking for there.
The Cobra, last spotted, coiled up in the bluffs of Erangel, now on the move.
Waiting for its next prey to come up. As Trilux is hashtag just chilling over here by the rock, waiting for this next circle. I mean, he's at the edge of it, so, I mean, the play that you can always make, because people move so slowly in these very competitive games where there's a lot on the line, you do oftentimes have those players come in late, so camping the edge of the circle is never really bad if you're in that defensive position where you can cover your flank.
So we just saw Mythrain there. Fan favorite German streamer.
A little bit of comms coming out. I think of the teams, we've got a potential engagement towards that bridge as 3 teams make their way over towards the bridge towards from Brute Camp to go out west by Painan. Todd's team actually looks like they just cleaned up one of the players in the tippity top of the map. Yeah, Todd picking off Bladesito. And him and his teammate have this guy pinned down. Dynamic trying to get out there. Todd and Bootless, they've picked off the teammate. They finished him off, so he's kind of solo right now and asking himself, well, he's got to run.
He's got to move.
Yep. Team Archmage have to get their hustle on, too. They just want to make sure they don't take any pot shots from the back while they're getting away, I guess. Although they'd love to secure this kill. Each kill is 4 points. It is worth it to get that kill if they can, rather than just run back and
Well, you got to land those shots to get those kills. Kodiak. Oh, okay. CSGO Kodiak. I think that he was a high-level CS player. I cannot recall it. The name rings a bell. Maybe it's just from the outer PUBG community, but not showcasing the aim required of a CS pro.
If he's got a nice legit heart rate monitor there, that's pretty badass though. You see,
he's way up there.
The pressure is on.
118.
Pushing all the way down into the smoke. You better believe that's a sweat moment. If ever there was one.
Like at what point do you have to call a doctor?
I don't think that's not in a danger zone. No, you're fine.
No, like 110, you can see he's kind of relaxing now.
If you're breaking like 140 playing a game, like
just like panting.
Are you actually? Is this your first time? Seeing the dog jump through the window in Resident Evil? What's going on?
Oh my God, that's a good reference.
What are you freaking out over?
Is that Resident Evil 1?
That gets me every time.
Resident Evil 1
gets me every time.
The first time the zombies come through the window in the police station in
the second one, yeah, that's just as
Scared the and the liquor on the roof.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Dude.
That's how
they're remaking it. I can't wait for that.
That's how you make sure that your health is in check. You can play horror games. Man, this guy's been pinned down forever.
He's like, the French team. This is where he lives now.
Yeah, the French team, Todd and Bootless. You know what? I imagine the conversation. Todd, a good friend of mine, so I can make a little bit of fun of him. And he's like, "We have enough mids. We can outwit him. We will get the kill." Guarantee that's what he's like. He's
just
like
very mechanical.
He doesn't care if they both die out there. He just wants to make sure they kill that one guy. Yeah.
That's
exactly the type of personality Todd has.
That is a very rampant personality through PUBG, where they will wait in the blue to kill you, even if they both die. It doesn't it only matters that they beat you. Whatever happens after that doesn't matter.
Yep. He's very stubborn. One time, I got downed. He dropped a med kit on me, said I have to go, and ran away. I'm like, I can't even use this. That's just...
You're down, like, here you go. It's like it's like just throwing it at you. Like,
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Help yourself out.
But our main plan is to go out.
No, that's a real feels bad, man. We got
circle ship coming.
Yeah, wacky hold up here in the center of the circle.
Actually, we could be.
Let's find out how much closer it's going to squeeze in on our players. Moving towards towards the east. Just a little bit on that bridge. Nice. Half of Ruins is still going to be inside the safe zone. Ruins is such a fun spot. The way that area is laid out is a real maze. I love it.
So a circle does go to Wacky Jackie and Spreezy. They have a decent hold here in the compound. Got a couple of snakes nearby, and now they have only 29 players to deal with at this stage. Heart rate raising. I really want to see how high this thing gets. I want to see like some full-on.
I was gonna say should be going down. Should be relaxing now. Maybe.
How do you do that? I wonder. You got to like. Is there a Bluetooth heart sensor?
I think these days some smartwatches have apps.
Yeah.
And I guess they have APIs. This looks like it's pulling from something into probably like a text file that updates.
I like to think he's just got like diodes on his chest that are like running into a USB port on his computer.
When I first looked into doing this like 5 or 6 years ago, that's kind of what you need. I think that the tech has gotten a lot better for it to be used for
6
streaming
years ago.
recently.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's I've only been streaming for like a year and a bit. 6 years ago must have been. What was it like? What was it like on like the beginning where you just like?
It was the dark ages of Twitch. You got partner, and then you had to apply again to get a sub button because they didn't exist yet. Those are the old days.
Girelim mi diyorsun içeri?
The good days.
Good in some ways.
Good in some ways.
Things are good now. I think.
Yeah, definitely. The platform has definitely evolved over time for sure.
Yeah, Jolanda and Wondry taken out as the next circle starts to close in, and Cobra and Elsboy holding it up in the west side of this next circle. Crossfire on the door.
Oh boy.
Making sure nobody can get in.
Coiled.
Ready to strike.
Cobra. The Cobra's his teammate. We'll assume he's coiled.
His teammate. I mean, they could be like a family of Cobras, right? I guess.
A family of Cobras. It sounds like a great sitcom.
I can dig
Until
it.
someone gets bit and dies, I guess.
You know, and then someone in chat just gets really upset that I don't know what the plural form of like a group of snakes is supposed to be.
Cobra.
It's the Cobros, man.
Cobros.
The Cobros.
Well, the heart rate decreasing. That's the only thing I'm
He's
interested in.
relaxing.
That's the only thing I'm interested in right now is what this guy's heart rate is.
Yeah. You know, the European region needs to step up the number of anime girls that they have playing in their PUBG tournaments, I think, is the next step.
The number of anime girls on this broadcasting desk has gone up 100% since it started.
That's true.
I'm going for it.
It's literally correct. We have the standings so far from our European region. Blue Walkers 2 in second place to Perry Moans. Leading and feeling fantastic.
Uh-oh. Lai is in trouble here. Alp is already down. It's Spike kind of helling him out. The zone is there, however, or getting closer. Going to shift again.
Yeah. I like that one team name, by the way. Check this out. Nice cheeky little play. And my boys, Archmage, doing well, doing nice. What's that, 5th place? I like team number 3 is Exit to Lobby, by the way. Great username. Some players really put a lot of thought into this.
Hey, I should be on that team.
Yeah. Mazzarini cut down running through the middle of the street. It's one of the only places with no camo. It's very few of those places, but you were there. Very easy to spot.
Wacky Jack and Spreezy on the move. I've been informed that the plural for Cobras is quiver, which I am not going to believe because it doesn't make any sense.
You fire Cobras at people with a bow and arrow?
A quiver of Cobras. Wouldn't the plural for Cobras be Cobras?
I don't know.
I'm going too far down the rabbit hole. So look, they're pushing outside the zone, looking for. They can hear the shots right in front of them. You can see Wacky Jackie taking that wide angle, looking for the rock. He's still trying to locate that one player. Spreezy seems to have spotted somebody.
Yeah, took down Bootless on the other side, unconspicuous, grabbing another kill with QBZ. As these players continue to close in, 19 players alive from looks to be 12 different teams.
I don't agree with that.
As another player's going to die outside of the safe zone. And
yeah, they're in trouble.
Galaxy's running up on his own towards the top of the hill.
They're so far behind.
Yeah, everybody's still spread out quite a bit. Wacky Jackie's team making its way towards the center of the circle, and they're going to come right up on Mythrain.
Left side up.
Big engagement coming up. He's making the call out, sees the enemy, spotted him.
No nades yet. They don't want to throw that, give their position away. I'm surprised, actually. I think the nade opening here would be a smart idea.
Taking shots.
I don't want to spook
them
too much.
They're
They're both
taking
going
damage.
to rush this rock at the same time, looking for the enemy, trying to get that shot off.
Stay here for a bit.
He sprays a little bit, but not
they
able to
ran
hit
away,
anything just yet.
150.
Carries Mod's going to grab Lai during all of this.
But yeah, see him.
Can we push him?
Ooh, going for that long range shot, switches out.
Low behind rock.
Not able to land the shot, though, and making that noise. Yeah, it's opening up the opportunity for the other players to collapse in on them from the other sides.
So it looks like Wacky Jack is going to have to hold that rear flank defense by himself. Spreezy now coming to support. You can hear the flare, shooting across the sky.
Nice.
Oh, I'm not sure. Did he see that movement? I wonder. He just saw him leave the rock. He might not have been looking that direction. He's not paying attention now.
Come with me. We got to push out.
He didn't see him move. I wonder if now they have moved over to his right or to his south at this stage.
But they might be taken.
He's just saying, let's go to the buildings then. Not really sure where the other guys are. I mean, buildings inside the next circle. Shots are coming in on him.
Oh, another guy.
Doors are closed. And we got Loggy Buff over here, heading up towards this little building. Not the same one that we were just looking at.
So it looks like that was Armut and Loggy Buff shooting at them on the way past, but didn't land anything.
They're making their way up the hill a little bit more. Coldamenta's going to take out Carrie's mod. In the midst of all of this, as this next circle closes in, and everybody's up real tight and close, but we got a couple buildings, a little bit of this high ground play still in effect. Good number of boulders as well, breaking things up, so a solid amount of cover. Oh, nice shot comes up.
Lost a teammate in the transition now. Oh, he shoots a dead body. Oh, no! That's
Bunları çok var basardık ya.
Shots, I got a good angle.
So now that's Mythrain getting involved. That was another team that was in the area with Wacky Jackie. They find themselves in a top 6 situation now. So for Wacky Jackie and Spreezy, they are too strong. Looks like they have solos to deal with mostly, I think.
Yep, they're feeling pretty good.
Mythrain still got his teammate. Oh, no, it's all good.
Spreezy picked off Hives. And yeah, Mythrain, I mean, if you look at the position that they've got to go to, they need to head way straight north to get into the zone, and they're going to have to pass that building where Spreezy and Wacky Jackie are holed up.
Spreezy and Wacky have the best cover in the play zone right now, so they're going to have to try and defend. It looks like they do have a team skirting around to their north. This is the team we're looking at right now. So that shack is where Wacky and Jackie are right ahead of them, so we'll see if they can deal with that. The smokes have already come out. The defense is set up. We'll see if they can make an assault or if they just want to hold this zone. They do have decent cover. I don't think they need to push any further.
No, the pressure's not really on him. Mythrain knocks down Spreezy, though, as it looks like they're trying to push up on them a little bit while Precious continues to try and just overwatch this zone.
Uh-oh, circles here.
He's been doing very well so far here.
Rez is up. Spreezy's back to full health almost. He's got a boost now. So Mythrain is by himself. He did get the initial down. He knows where they're at. He doesn't have the benefit of the zone. He's got to push out of cover towards another team. So Mythrain, uphill battle here.
Yeah, it's an awkward spot to be in, right? You're the odd man out in a 2 versus 2 situation for the rest of the players in this game. And I think the smart play here, you got to take it as slow as you can. Let these other teams engage each other, wear away at their supplies, or create a 2v1v1, something of that sort. But yeah, easy mop up.
Not only that, but they had it looks like this gentleman here had a line of sight. They saw the gun at the tree as well. So now it's a 2v2. We'll see. Spreezy doesn't have his helmet. He's already been down once. Not sure what the meds or vest is like. But these guys have the zone, and they're going to have to come out of their house. They might have used their utility already. Yeah, no smoke's coming out for Wacky Jackie and Spreezy. They see them at the rock. The cover's coming in. A little bit of pressure. Again, they have the zone and the advantage here. Wacky Jackie's going to have to hit a shot. The zone's on top of them. They're in trouble.
Yeah, he lands that shot with the M24. Takes some shots from the side, though, as they're continuing to push on this. He's on this tree. Picks up the side. Great headshot to finish up the match. Let's go, baby.
A little bit of a bonus ball there for the teammate. Yeah, Wacky Jackie and Spreezy had an uphill battle there coming out of that house, but ultimately they played as best they could. But in the end, it was so precious landing that headshot on Wacky Jackie, taking him out and securing the win.
Good way to clean up.
As that is a team name comprised of the 2 players in that team.
Extremely creative.
Very creative.
Daring and bold. I love it. Team WTCN and So Precious. Congratulations as they pick up this round here in our European qualifier here for the Broadcaster Royale. Good game. Good intense. And that's going to do it for this match. We're going to set up the next one. We'll be back after the short break, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the Broadcaster Royale.
Welcome back, everybody, to Broadcaster Royale. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Broadcaster Royale. My name is Jump. I'm joined here with Nathanius, two faces that you have seen quite a many times, and there was one face that I know we all wish we could see. I'm going to get production to print like a fat head of Moses.
Yeah.
And then
we
print
get him on,
multiple
like, ping pong racket.
Yeah.
Easy. And we can just... Whenever
I mean,
we need to say something
is this
insightful.
where we say that he has a head big enough that we could play ping pong, like with printouts? He's gonna roast me the next time that
you just have a weird spirit. That's all I was getting.
So
at.
we just concluded map number 3. We went to Sanok. Let's go ahead and roll the replay highlights.
It was great. The weather was wonderful. The blue zone kind of sucked. You know, I personally didn't enjoy being in it. But we got some great pictures.
I heard it's great camping weather, though. I heard it was very good camping weather this time of the season.
Oh yeah.
But just because you
that dirty headshot made it all worth it.
Yeah. Just because it is a season for camping does not mean that kills still didn't happen. Clearly, we saw some fantastic ones there, and
it's a slower start.
It is. It is a little bit of a slower start, and especially with lobbies being a little bit smaller than some of the other situations, especially when we think about what we're about to go to, which is Miramar. You're going to have that much slower pace. You're going to have that much slower play style because you don't have any reason to go off the mark. And something that European players are good at, and I think that this translates across a bunch of different esports, is the patience that they have in every aspect of their gameplay.
And I think that that's one of the cool things in terms of the way that this tournament works overall, is you're going to see these players that come out of here, you're going to be like, okay, maybe the European side of things is a little bit slower. These players are more patient, more tactical in terms of where they take their shots, but that might make for an interesting mix-up when they get thrown in with the NA qualifiers and they get thrown in with the qualifiers from the LA region, and we see everybody come together. You know, will that slower pace style allow them to make it through and get into the, you know, the higher ranks of the grand finals? I think it's a point that's worth bringing up because maybe that gung-ho style of the Latin American players, it looks really cool during their qualifiers, but when they show up and they have to play against the other players, like the Europeans like holding their corners perfectly and they just kill everybody instantly. Like, it could happen.
Well, for those of you that are wondering a little bit more about that format and when exactly those matches are going to come up, we've got a beautiful graphic for you that we're going to roll right about now. Remember, this is the Invitational Qualifier number 2 that we're doing today. There is the Open Qualifier number 2 that's happening tomorrow. Invitational versus Open, for those of you that are unaware, Invitational is as it just seems. We've got invited players all across the globe that we've invited for the various regions. Open Pass, those players can sign up. They have signed up and have been selected. We had qualifier number 1 2 weeks ago, and then today, qualifier number 2 for Invitational. Tomorrow, qualifier number 2 for the Open Path.
Yeah. And leading into those regionals where they will fight to the death for a spot at the global finals, at our grand final here. And there's $300,000 up for grabs in that.
That's 6 figures.
That is a lot of moolah.
That's a lot of moolah.
All right, just imagine trying to play PUBG with just fill your room right now with what was the first place, like $55,000. Just imagine that.
I just imagine.
How could you do it? $55,000 bills.
I feel like,
your room.
did you ever? Here you go. You ready for the throwback? Did you ever see the movie Blank Check?
Yes.
Yes. Where he just like is throwing all the money.
Oh, yeah.
And it's $1 million. Like $1 million back then is just like unbelievable amounts of money. I mean, it's still a pretty.
A lot of money.
I would still like $1 million. Let me just like clarify that right now. But regardless, where I just see that now, somebody playing just like sitting on like stacks of just like dollar bills. And it's just like it's just there. They don't have a gaming chair. They don't have any of these ergonomics.
It'd be a good arm cushion for your wrist.
It would. We've been giving health tips all day, and you know sometimes maybe the best health tip for your wrist is just put it on a pile of money.
Yeah, I think that'd make everybody feel better.
I think everybody would be happy about that.
Everybody be happy about that. We do our little fly through of Miramar. I love these scenes. Miramar, come visit the warm, exciting desert. Drop in at Picado for your chance at a fist fight over an M4. There's a great movie
no.
You
have to keep going. No, I like this. Is this
Los Leones, where the only thing higher than our crime rate is the number of people who win if they survive it. I don't know, that's all I got. And
Spa Day, guys. This is a great segue to talk about Spa Day, because then you enjoy yourself at the spa. You can watch the voiceover on TV of the delightful man himself.
yeah.
This doesn't look like Miramar.
Do we roll with this? Okay. Until someone tells me otherwise, I'm just.
We're getting word that.
Okay.
So, full disclosure, the travel agent that was booking these players' flights, unfortunately, is now fired.
Yeah.
And that travel agent has been replaced by Bob. Bob, the new travel agent, is going to take us to Miramar. I know you paid full price for Miramar and you went to Sanok. You will be, all of the passengers will be compensated with an extra bag of peanuts. Not peanuts, chips if you have a nut allergy that you should have informed before your first flight.
My God.
And 2 extra drink tickets that can be redeemed for alcoholic beverages if you're over the age of 21.
This is the greatest fill I think we've ever done. In both of our entire esports careers.
I'm not gonna lie.
As we get everything set up again.
So on that note, we're not gonna.
I don't really know what's happening.
You know what?
We joked about people killing each other, but they're all killing each other now.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably because they realized that we're doing.
Did. All right, guys, we're gonna take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, Bob, the travel agent, will take us to Miramar and the beautiful sights of Pecado, Los Leones, and the Wasteland Desert. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Broadcast Royale. Jump and Nathanius here. We just got off the phone with Bob, the travel agent, and we have been informed that the plane is indeed heading for
I've got
Miramar.
confirmation. I can see it over here.
Yep, he brought us a monitor just to show us that the money well spent on Bob, the travel agent, is indeed going to put us on to Miramar. And you know what? Bob even made us a package deal, and along with Miramar, he has also provided us with some delightful statistics, those specifically revolving around the European region. You can take a look at the kills
Bob
leaderboard.
is so good at his job.
And Bob is great. At the top of the leaderboard, we've got WTSP, where we had our winners from the last map. They've netted themselves 17 kills, followed by
amazing.
Perry Mona's Archmage.
How about Perry Mona's, though? Coldamenta with 14 kills on his own. That's tremendous.
If I was Winghaven at this point in time, I would be feeling very grateful that I have a teammate like Coldamente, but I would also be needing some, like, individual motivation.
Yeah, and we have that individual player list. He is on top, and it feels so good. And WTSP holding that second and third. I mean, their combined is great. Teamwork, people would say, is very important. Yeah.
We've got Todd, your boy himself, sitting at a delightful tied for 9th place. So he's kicked off the mark. I know after this broadcast is over, you're gonna hit him up on Twitter, Discord, or something like that.
He's already been messaging me. I got a DM from Todd because I was like,
tell me.
"Oh yeah, I was casting your match. You did great." And then he messages me after match 3. He's like, "I don't understand. I would have won. My teammate is playing so." An expletive that I can't stand.
He already has.
Yeah.
Like, already in his head, he has you're already his outlet for ranting.
Yeah. Because he knows. Well, he knows I'm watching the games too. So he's like, it's this my teammate. They don't know what he's doing wrong. I don't understand.
I now want to pay you to just walk around with me just to speak in that accent.
I only do it when I'm talking about Johan Latad Merlo. It's okay. He's a world champion in esports, so he can take a good ribbing.
A good little something.
He's an extremely competitive person, even if shooters aren't exactly his strong point. But he's been doing well here, so who am I to say that?
Hey, true indeed. Well, we went ahead and showed you the kills leaderboard. Now is the moment that I know everybody is most excited for, and that's going to be our point standings and what it is that we have standing at that top 8. Perry Moniz sitting at 1st place, followed by WTSP. Blue Walkers 2, not to be mistaken with Blue Walkers 1. Camp to Win, Butcher McKinley, Sandhawk Warriors, Archmage, with your man Todd himself, as well as Residence Sleeper. And now the question that I have to ask you, Nathanius, do you think Blue Walkers 2 is this the first time where a sequel will actually outdo the original?
Yeah, I think so. It's like that infamous argument between the first and the second Shrek. Everybody has extremely hostile, divided opinions. Families are torn apart by it. Worse than Romeo and Juliet.
All right, here's our friendship. Which one is better, the first one or the second one?
I can't answer that question in fear of my own personal safety.
Oh, you can.
We're good. We're going to
come back to that.
We don't have to stretch that much, thankfully. The lobby's going. They're going to be starting it soon. We're fine.
You know what else is fine?
What?
Spot 8 crates!
Oh my God! Tell me about it. How do I get the Spot 8 crate?
Spot 8 crates are available via Twitch Prime this month. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has teamed up with the delightful members that are Twitch Travel Pillow Makers, and they have supplied us with Twitch Travel Pillows, robes, undergarments, as well as
the towels.
A towel.
Towel for your head.
There's
towel for your
undergarments
torso.
under the towels as well.
I imagine so.
I was getting there. And Twitch flip-flops, which I definitely am rocking the heck out of because the flip-flops are just dope. So that's that. Now, Bob has informed us that it is actually time to fly through Miramar. Thankfully so.
Cathay Airlines taking you on a trip, ladies and gentlemen, to the desert.
Find yourself a lighthouse on the edge of the blood-stained waters.
Peer out over the man driving a boat to hide.
Notice yourself
Camp a bridge.
The palm trees in which you can find the gunshots of their leaves thrown. That was bad. Your turn. Tag, you're in.
Climb the unfinished structures of Los Leones and find yourself sniping people from 500 meters out.
Catch yourself in a forgotten wasteland of death, dismal appearances, and a lone RV trailer.
Drive a pickup truck over a cliff. That's all I got. All right, we see that's the direction that the plane is going to be headed as we kick off our Miramar match. This is a broadcast for Royale. Hope you're all having a great day wherever you are in this great, big, wide world. We are, it's getting a little bit late over in Europe now. They're in their evening. They're past their supper time jump. Should be about past 6 p.m. over there now, 6:30-ish.
Nathaniel, I've been awake for 9.5 hours.
Have you, though?
I've actually been awake for longer, so let's be real about the situation.
Yeah, I got up 9.5 hours ago. Set my alarm clock for midnight. First time I've ever done that.
You did. We had the greatest caster synergy in the world, and that was me tweeting you at the time that I thought you should wake up.
I literally woke up, looked at my phone, and I had a message. Like I was like looking at it, and then it just popped up in my face. I'm like, well, golly gee.
The true caster synergy when you text your co-caster and say, hey yo, it's time to wake up. We got some casting to do, and casting will be done indeed as we are on Miramar, the beautiful, I don't want to say forgotten wasteland, as people definitely remember it as they are, as Bob has made this a hotspot destination, one of 3 currently available in his travel agent program.
Yeah, and you know, it's a real easy sell when you pitch, hey, you got warm weather, beachfront property, and
the desert.
Yeah. Well, you don't mention the desert part, you know.
What do you say? Like, what do you... How,
it's like advertising Los Angeles, you know? When you think about it.
I mean, there's a lot of really good things about Los Angeles, though.
But on the points...
That's true. Miramar does not have... You can't get Korean barbecue here.
You can't. You can't. You can't get amazing dim sum at Miramar.
And also,
you might have
you know what you can get?
What's on this? What's on the soda machines? What can you get over here? Is that?
Let's see. Think about it. What sort of? You can get a. You can get the Coca-Cola bottles, the glass ones. The glass Coca-Cola bottles, or like the glass Sprite bottles.
Yeah.
Those ones are great. What do you think the tagline for a vacation to Miramar would be? Here you go.
God, I have no idea. We have our standings again for y'all to take a look at. Paramonas, team beat. They're at the tip top, feeling fantastic. We're looking at our Camp to Win team over here, as we've got Wacky Jackie and Speezy.
Actually, 3-2-2 already on healing.
He's definitely finding himself in good spirits. We saw some moments of frustration for him. Mithrain.
Is Mithrain gonna get knocked out this fast?
Is he gonna fall that? Oh, wow.
Yo, little big Will. Hot damn.
That is gonna be a sight for sore eyes, as it looks like Mithrain is gonna have to watch the rest of the lobby from the gray screen. Not a place that he's.
I was gonna say, considering the competitiveness that we've seen out of him, being eliminated this early on is definitely a pain in the side.
Yeah. Not something as we get ourselves back onto OMG Easy Jonesy. Something that is definitely a tongue twister if you say it fast enough, where we get to see.
Just call him Jonesy.
Jonesy.
I don't know. I don't know if that would offend him or not. But that's his name, damn it.
He specifically wants you to say OMG after.
You know I've had
OMG
people tell
easy.
me that. I'd just like you to know that I've had people who have long names like that.
Yeah.
They're like, please only refer to me on air with this full name.
And you go, okay.
It's like, my name's the Little Jimmy. Oh, do not call me Jimmy.
Don't call him Little either.
No.
It's like Tiny Tim. He's not actually tiny, but you have to say Tiny Tim to make himself seem like
well, it's his brand.
Nicer. It's his brand.
It's his
exactly.
Brand. So, OMG Easy Jonesy, which is the only appropriate way to describe this person. He's peeking around.
Now,
the top of that little thing, it looked like, he thought it was something.
Now, on the first, if you turn to your first pamphlet of that Bob gave us on the plane ride over here to Miramar, you will see that the early stages of your vacation at Miramar is very slow.
You may die in a little ring by yourself.
You might.
That does occasionally happen.
There's one Cobra on the map. If you may be lucky enough to find it or not to find it, that is yet to be seen, depending on what part of the party you're actually at.
If you are perhaps some variety of snake charmer, if that even works on Cobras, I don't. Who knows?
I mean, isn't King Cobra the one that they usually do all the taming for?
I
hate snakes, actually, so I wouldn't know. Snakes are my
couldn't
least
hope.
favorite.
I'd hate to misrepresent the cobras. You know what I mean? I get some angry tweets from them. You know, I gotta be careful about how much I assume.
All I picture now is dodgeball. The cobras on dodgeball.
Yeah.
That's all I picture now.
Well, that's what their team name should have been. It was an easy miss. They should have just been Globo Gym.
Yeah. Something like that.
Well, he goes to loot him. He's like, well, I didn't really have anything on him. The backpack on the ground next to his body is probably more valuable than anything that he had himself. But as you were saying, the starts here are a little bit slow. Our European players are a little bit more cautious, more patient. And there's a couple less people in the Invitational for this one than, for example, that we had in APAC earlier. So there's just a few less players, a few less opportunities for them to run into each other until that circle starts to close in the second or third time and really bring them together. As we take a look at Little Big Whale, who we didn't really see a crazy amount of so far, but was able to take out Mithrin at the start of this game.
It was indeed. 46 players are alive, as we said, a little bit smaller than the lobby we're used to seeing. We can actually take a look at the map right now and see where this first circle is going to end up taking us. The northwestern side of the map is where we will be frequenting. We do have a couple towns to be able to see. Clearly, El Pozo being the big one that a lot of these players are going to find themselves upon, and it doesn't look like they're going to be incapable of traversing. Now, with that being said, I do say that considering that they do find themselves a vehicle, but one of the difficulties that players have to face when facing Miramar is the fact that there's so much verticality, there's so much ups and downs and uncertain territory with this terrain that if you don't have a vehicle and you do find yourself having to cross away from the roads, it is going to be a lot slower, or else you risk yourself kind of running that vehicle down a crevice, down a drain, or just flat out flipping it.
During the APAC region qualifier earlier this morning, we saw several, if not many players fall to their death because they just forget that this map has a bunch of cliffs on it too.
Yeah.
Like so many people just fell down somewhere and died. It was half embarrassing and half sobering. You're just like, wow, you really do have to care about your footwork.
I have no idea.
We've got Team Camp to win. They got their pickup truck heading towards the circle. Looking to get her done, you know what I'm saying? Get themselves chicken dinner.
They are indeed. They've got the. It looks like it's going to be the pine, the pine scented.
The pine scented. No. It's a banana. It's a pine tree, but it has banana.
Oh,
on
it is the banana. It's the banana scent.
Yeah.
Banana scent. I'm sorry. Even though I grew up in Tennessee, I know straight. Oh. It looks like we're gonna have multiple demolition derby.
Oh my goodness!
Deciding to come ourselves across.
Keep on going this way.
All right, let's go. Let's go. I want to see it. I want to see it. The chariot battle. No, they don't want to engage. All right, there's.
I'm not gonna lie though. I would definitely prefer a Bronco over a convertible in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hot yes, sir.
I kind of want to
indeed.
get a second car.
All right, so
he's in a ghillie suit. But he's in a
has
car.
a ghillie suit. How hot must that ghillie suit be in the middle of this?
Nah, it's just terrible. I mean, if you think about it, if you didn't have anything else on underneath it, it looks like it has a little bit of spacing, so it's kind of breathable.
It's like mesh.
Yeah, but if you're wearing like a full set of clothes under it,
it's like people that go to
padded vest.
It's like people that go to those raves and wear like all that mesh like as their clothes. Like it's not a lot,
it's
but
not
it's
quite the same. But
I mean, it's kind of the same. It's mesh, right?
The ghillies?
Probably not.
Sure.
Okay, maybe a little bit more.
It's a little different. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's got to the point.
You have OMG Easy Jonesy, the first of his name. He's got pretty good. He's got that, finds that syringe, good amount of ammunition for his 5.56. He's got that Mini 14.
Got him a nice little flash hider, which is going to help him in some of these long-range battles as well.
Yeah, him and Kodiak, they started off strong this game. They picked up an early kill or two. Very nice for them. Team Camp to win, makes their way inside, but taking a lot of fire. Was that the vehicle behind them chasing and spraying? I'm not even.
It might be something. Wacky Jackie's taking a lot of damage. He's gonna have to be very careful because while we can't see how much health his Bronco has right now, because his
car is completely trashed.
Well,
he says the car is completely trashed.
All right. Well. That's all you need to know. Just because his webcam is covering up the health of the vehicle, I'm gonna take Wack Jackie's word for this. He is an expert at monster trucks, as we know by his weekly release of his monster truck reports. So I would trust to say that he knows when a vehicle is actually exploding.
Yep. his tires are lifted higher than the actual size of the truck itself.
Yes, exactly.
He's a beast. All right, Cobra speeding down the street, making his way inside of the circle now. Looking for that position. Still 46 alive, but players are getting positions on each other. Shots are being fired.
Yeah, the circle has started. Indeed, as you can see, some little test shots there coming out of Wacky Jackie. Doing a good job at those quick peeks.
Double peek this.
You can see cars coming in from all sides of the map. We've got the Cobra and his teammate on the northeastern side. They're coming around off of Torremada to be able to come through. The southern side as well. We've got 3 separate teams that are coming in on different cars.
Me too, but...
So right as this first circle does decide to close in.
They're having a little chat about this as well. He's like, well, I want to go down and fight them. And teammate's like, me too, but, well, it's really risky. You don't want to give up your position. That high ground is so nice. When the scopes that they have are also really, really nice in this situation. Flanking people this high up is quite difficult. And as long as they're, being aware of the sides, they should be okay. As we see the team players spread out still a fair amount, waiting for that next circle to start closing in. But even then, they're actually still pretty spread out within the current circle that we have anyway.
At least,
yeah, as expected, we figured that it was going to be a little bit slower at the beginning. That is holding true at this point, considering, as we mentioned, a smaller lobby size, 46 players are available. 24 of those being teams. So we are 11 minutes in, so get yourself comfortable, go grab yourself a drink, maybe link your Amazon account to that Twitch Prime so you can get a hold of those Spa Day crates. You'll have plenty of time if you have double monitors, or even if you have a single monitor, you can open up Player in the Battlegrounds, and you won't be able to be missing too much action. Though as I say that, I'm forced to eat my words as 2 members falling, taking that 46 left alive.
Now that was our winning team from the last game.
It was.
So Precious taken down, but WTCN able to get a little bit of redemption. And while it's going to be difficult to win solo, at least there's that opportunity. Look at this. Wacky Jackie picking off the tires on that buggy, saying, you're going nowhere.
He's leaning into his shots as well. It's almost like he's trying to lean into him on the actual, from the actual shots that his character is taking. But instead, as we know, he's just, leaning in a little bit more. Now it's the spray and pray right into the smoke.
Trying to get him while he's healing in there, perhaps, but not going to be able to hit the mark just yet. As they got to be careful, they're drawing attention to themselves. Arma TV not too far away with Roggy Ref.
I need some 5.6.
Yeah, okay.
Give the man his 5.6.
He needs some 5.6. We saw some members in the last set of the lobby doing a great job at sharing resources. Something that we haven't really seen the European players do the way that we had our valiant pack mule is what we liked to call him. He was carrying all of the ammunition. He was carrying all of the goods for his teammate, giving him a level 3 helmet at one point.
1+ I got to give to the European region in the comparison factor to APAC. APAC had so many attachment hoarders, which was odd in a way. And then occasionally you find the M4 and you're like, I have all the attachments for it already, and it's like, boom, 5 pieces of Exodia. But yeah, Europeans are a little bit more aware and more efficient with the space.
All about that teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work.
The slow, efficient, smart plays being made here. The 200 IQ plays, you could say.
I don't know about 200 IQ plays.
Really, 190?
I mean, considering that we've seen players literally fall to their death trying to climb down Miramar, I don't think 200 IQ is necessarily.
Well, we haven't seen the Europeans fall to their death just yet.
No, not necessarily.
We'll see. Ooh, good pick off there. Grabs 10,000, 10 million days there. With that Groza, he's got the firepower. Got that fire.
Ponyhoff, as Moses was saying earlier, has...
Is Ponyhoff meant to rhyme or sound kind of like Tony Hawk? Is that what he's going for? Because that's where my mind goes to.
I definitely have never made that connection before now.
I can't stop thinking about it. I had to tell you. I'm sorry.
I know you want Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 to come out soon, but the second one was the best one, and we're just never going to get another title like that before.
No, we never will.
It's not going to happen.
Nate down there. There got to be.
And we did draw attention to the fact that Ponyhoff underwent the very expensive and very meticulous surgery to make it where he never stops actually smiling. He just has an eternal smile on. So not only do we have the smile surgery, but we also have Wacky Jackie, the monster truck extraordinaire.
And let's not exit full screen here, as we've got
don't
Wacky
want to.
Jackie trying to get some shots. He's spotted an enemy on top of this tall building. Meanwhile, OMG Easy Jonesy is shooting from window to window at another player.
Maybe wall to wall if you're not careful.
Yeah, that's also true. If you miss,
you tried. You wanted to head to the next line, but I appreciate that you recognized my hip hop reference.
Yeah, we're good. He's gonna come down, look for a little bit of a reposition. OMG Easy Jonesy not able to find the purchase that he was looking for.
That's one of
He's going to come down. He's looking towards that same window again, but not able to find it. Speezy's brought the motorcycle inside of the house.
Oh, yeah?
Of course.
So
it's a collectible. You need it inside so everybody can see.
What did he just say? Can you park it by the pool table?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
This
but why?
On this episode of Westworld, we are taking a look at the destruction that has ensued. Westworld has then devolved. It is now called Miramar.
Booster.
And somewhere along this, they just wanted to put in a motorcycle.
Whoa.
Okay. I'll just take that at face value then.
There are people like that was Pawnee Hawk with the Groza.
Yeah, they're calling out. They hear the Groza. They know that they're dealing with a little bit of high power weeponry from their opponents as the shot comes in. That tall building. I mean, everything kind of closing in on this city is making things so weird.
Yeah,
like
we can take a look at the map actually.
The elevation.
Yeah, the elevation of where we have on this giant circle so far. We're actually just a few seconds away of seeing where it's going to move, and boom. Just like
goodness,
that.
Is he gonna get it? Oh, come on. I got my MLG air horn ready to go.
And it's a dead.
Is he gonna...
Come on, maybe.
Come
yes.
on.
Yeah.
He's scared.
Oh, I believe in you.
Come on, Moman.
You had one chance.
Moman.
And two chances.
Ah, man. Next time I see this guy, I know him.
Yeah?
Moman.
Hey, Moman. I know him.
He's a cheesy Zerg.
Oh!
And now he's a headless cheesy Zerg.
He is a headless cheesy Zerg.
Well, that's unfortunate. Car 98 straight to the kisser. And they've got a little bit of a distance to go to get into that circle too.
Yeah.
So need the res, need to get on the go. Alp and Lolly are making their way out.
We had action, so we had to pop off the map. But if we could just kick to the map real quick again while
It's still closing in on that city, by the way.
Yeah, it's still closing in on the city.
even more on the city.
And not just that, but if you take a look at all of the players on the southwestern side of the current playfield, the crater fields, as we saw 2 dead bodies end up occupying that, they're being forced to walk around now, which could be very difficult because they've got other players on this eastern side that are actually trying to get themselves down the mountain. Luckily, there are some members in the town already, so this is going to be a very scary moment if some of these players aren't careful on making sure that they watch their surroundings.
Yep, and these guys speeding on that vehicle, immediately taking some heavy fire as Alp is able to get inside safely. And they've got meds, so they're just going to heal up in this position. And I think, I was going to say, Jump, usually the game picks up quite a bit as we get to this circle level. But this could still end up being a little bit of a turtle fest as we've got so many tall buildings for these players to slowly slip and sneak around.
I hear you actually can hit the what's it called, the up down AA. What's that? It's
the Konami code.
The Konami code. I actually hear if you do the Konami code on the jukeboxes, you actually hear a song.
In this game?
Do you have any smokes?
Get out of here. I thought it gave you infinite ammo, right? Was it up, down, left, right,
AB,
something like that?
Yeah. Start select.
I might be thinking of.
What do you think that jukebox? If you put a quarter in that jukebox,
what would play in the Miramar jukebox?
You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Yeah, that's the first song that came to mind.
I don't know.
No,
they're probably Despacito too.
Player unknowns rolling right now. Hating you because you just revealed.
Yeah.
You just unveiled Blue Hole's new.
Yeah, $30 billion actually.
And it will make much more than that.
Yeah. OMG Easy Jonesy still holding that position. We're going to see a lot of these players holding on to these buildings because there's so much at stake. Everybody wants to qualify to the regionals so that they can qualify to the grand finals so that they can make fat stacks of cash.
Nice.
And that's why we're going to see this little play Wacky Jackie getting rezzed. Look at that. You see that look of approval he's giving? He's like, yeah. I love being revived. Thanks, man.
We're good.
We're good.
He's happy.
Oh, we're good.
He's good. He's got
You better
a teammate.
believe we're good, Wacky Jack.
He's got a teammate.
Save my other healing.
Look at that. Efficiency. Using the bandages. Has plenty of bandages.
We're not being pushed. Why not bandage?
Yeah.
Boom,
We've
boom.
got the confines of our Westworld building.
But as you can see, everybody's packed in. It's like, it's like everybody moved to a new neighborhood. Everybody's getting acclimated to their new homes.
So we wanted to we wanted to wait, but thankfully Bob not only is fantastic at booking travel as well as giving us all the delightful information that you want to know, but he's also he's a real estate agent, and
he's a triple threat.
He's a triple threat indeed. You hear about the Better Business Bureau? Have you ever heard about the Better Bob Business? And that's exactly what you're seeing right here. Is you've got
even got some camping estate out in the hills for the rest of the players.
He does, providing you with a couple med kits, a little bit of life. Bob is an all-around nice guy.
Yep.
He's he definitely does his job well.
Yeah, we have a little bit of engagement towards the south side. Galaxy taking some shots at Yelena and Chatatoy trying to get into the circle. But they're pretty close to where Carrie's Mods team is, as well as Todd, all running around that south rim. We've got Momin looking down sights as well, so we're taking a look at right now. He's out with Galaxy.
Still 40 players left alive. We are getting to see ourselves a little bit of action on that southern side of the map, like what we were expecting as members were rotating across from the crater fields. We can see Bootless, as well as his teammate Action, are finding themselves in the middle of a sandwich, and it's going to be a death sandwich if they're not very careful. 37 members. Cobra ends up taking down Mazarini. Elsway takes down Spaj KK.
Yeah, it's tense. We see a lot of these players going to start converging up in the hills soon. Yelima quite low. Someone's speeding in on a vehicle, taking some shots from multiple sides. Yo, Collins' team with Moment is about to run into Todd and Bootless as they're so close.
Dion, in the meanwhile, gets a good little frag grenade onto Velena. Oh, no.
And Moment taken out by his fellow Frenchman. That's a way to go out. Todd and Moment, definitely two players that know each other quite well.
Yeah, let's actually, I'd like to see if we could pop over actually to the Todd stream, to Yon M, and see how him and his
probably
teammate
complaining
are doing
about
right now.
something, but it's okay. That's just that's him in a good mood actually.
Hey,
to be.
just because he can't talk back, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say anything at all. He's not here to defend himself.
He'll get me. He'll get me eventually.
I mean,
okay.
Just because he could zap you with his frosty tips does not mean that you should talk bad about him.
You know what? I never heard a better reason why not to.
That's what Thumper told Bambi. If you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. And you know what Bambi said? My mom's dead.
God. All right, we've got little Big Whale on the west side over here. Oh, my goodness. Wacky Jackie, somehow he's almost dead again. And now he is knocked down again. He's going to be bleeding out very quickly. I don't know. Spreezy's not going to be able to get him. Those frag grenades really putting in work as he bleeds out on the ground. Winghaven knocking him out. And Cobra getting an SLR kill in the midst of all of this.
Yeah, this was the member that took down Mithrain, remember? She's done a pretty good job at staying up. We're at 32 left alive right now.
Way too many people alive here, and all of them around the city. Well, a lot of them.
Oh.
GG.
Spoke, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, there's just too many people here, and then immediately you die. It's like, well,
nothing that I can do. And now, thankfully, all of the waiting, all of the agony that you, the viewers, have had to deal with our horrible jokes, is now finally coming to a much more exciting moment.
Yes.
As the circle, we can take a look at it very shortly, is getting much closer, and this is where the fights are really going to start to happen. You can see Todd on the screen. He's done a good job at keeping him and his team. He only has killed one thus far, but with 29 left alive, plenty of bodies that he can potentially take down.
This is going to pull people out of half of the current buildings, a little bit more than half of the current buildings. A lot of people got to migrate east. I think we're about to see Little Big Whale is actually right on top of where Todd's team is. They're not that far from where Trilux and where Spreezy were either.
Yeah, not going to lie, though, if you are the viewers, you're very excited to see where this circle actually ended up moving. Because it moved away from the city, you actually can find yourself in a much better viewing experience because you don't have to, or for the players, they're going to hate it. because they have to come out of the city.
Yeah, well, I mean, it comes down to, we've seen this before with being pulled out of buildings, is you got to be careful because you're like, oh, well, you want to get to the safe area quickly, right? But the first person to leave is in front of everybody else that has to go, and it turns you into a big target. So in a way, you want to be later than most players, but if you're too late, then you might take some blue damage. Players that are coming from other directions might be established. We see Todd taking a little bit of a spray. He's going to land a few shots.
Sometimes it's a right place, right time, and that's exactly what you saw Todd being able to see. It looks like his teammate did go down, though. Bootless did find himself down. He's going to try to get a turn. Not going to be enough, though, as both members whip around the corner. Todd's going to go to the gray screen, 17th place. Him and Bootless will find themselves, as we can see, Unconspicuous and Little Big Whale still alive, trying to navigate themselves through these little corridors here on this east side of Cabrera.
Yeah, and they've done a pretty good job snaking their way forward. They're kind of going through a bit of an open corridor, but it doesn't look like anybody is around them. OMG Easy Jonesy knocks down Alp with that Mini 14, looking for the supporting buddy to try and come in and help him. As we see, that vision was focused very intensely on the reticule of that sniper rifle.
Julanda and Wondery, two of the players that I know have been highly asked.
Twitch chat
certainly wants to see him. Unfortunately, it did look like they went down, so we won't actually be able to go into them. You can see them on the mini-map on the southern side. Wondery and Julanda have ended up falling, and look at that. We're going to see another knock there. It does look like Little Big Whale coming up
kicking
huge.
Some tail here.
Face of action and competitiveness. Oh, look at that nice little corner peek there. Picks up the double kill. And that's going to be 3 kills netted for her. 21 members left alive. That's going to be 14 teams. And just as I say that, Dynamics goes down, which makes 20 left alive.
Goodness. That's a nice headshot there. OMG Easy Jonesy getting him easy. Little Big Whale's got the nade. Goes for the chuck. There's the reposition. They need to get into that safe zone. As the Blues closing in.
Yeah, it's really going to hurt right now, too, if they're not careful. And you can see that she recognized that immediately. Trying to get around, but it's not going to be enough. The Blue will end up chunking her down. Look how fast it flows.
You are not going to survive that. She knew it. As moment she stepped out, that bullet hits her in the side. She's like, I'm
and
not
look at where the new
I?
circle is as well. Right smack dab in the middle. And as you can see, there are a couple members that are actually going to benefit from this, specifically the ones on the eastern side, because they're already going to be climbing themselves up the mountain. But when you put yourself in such a mountain of terrain like this, you have to watch every single corner, every single crevice, because if not, there could be somebody waiting in the wayside.
Yep, and we have trying to shoot up with this M24 with the suppressor is Trucky. And trying to land a shot here would be huge. Got a decent bit of ammo, got a good amount of shots, not a crazy amount available for that M24. Trying to spray a little bit into that smoke, hoping to land a shot on someone hiding in there. And just a couple of call-outs going, but nothing super crazy. I mean, you got to wait even maybe a little bit more for another circle to pull more players out, because there were still a few of those buildings. This next one should be able to do the trick.
Yeah, we'll have a couple more fall. I still think that just the way that the verticality is of the map right now, there still is going to be a few members left alive. The ones, like I mentioned, on the eastern side are going to have a much better opportunity because of this mountainous terrain. We can see Edberg, our cautious and patient snake from a couple games ago.
Damn, he saw me.
Just as we see that actually ends up going down.
Made it to 11.
Yeah, realizes nice pick off there. And we have, with Trucky down, it's easy. Easy Jonesy's been doing a good bit of work. We've got Trucky's vision here, as he's been looking. I think he's a little bit further behind on the stream than a few of the other plays that we're looking at.
Sometimes you got to go back in time.
Yeah, we get to see. It was like a. They say your whole life flashes before your eyes. And we basically got to see a little bit of his life before we saw him die in the kill feed. So there you go.
True indeed. Looks like Jonesy's going to end up reviving Kodiak. Still 12 members left alive. Wow, 2 med kits in their hands, so he's going to be able to get him right back up to 100% HP. And now, I like this shot.
You're right. You're talking about the verticality, the hills. We can see there where players like Glaxy and Hive's team as well.
And you have a lot of duos still left as well. There's only 3 solos. You can see Ponyhoff, Lai as well. Oh, no, actually, they're the only 2 solo players. Everyone else on the map, 5 of them are actually duos. So now, where is this next circle going to go? This is where things are going to get to start to be very scary. Kodiak, not only does he get revived, he ends up taking somebody down. Menta, someone that we've seen do absolute work thus far in this tournament, ends up knocking him down.
Vic Cranes, Hive's teammate, gets left behind. And Elzvoy's coming up. Hives takes a lot of damage. This is really dangerous. Elzvoy, with Hives, gets down on the ground trying to heal up, but he's got that team so close to him. I mean, Galaxy's team is actually healing up, so if they tunnel vision on them, this gives an opportunity for Hives to either try to just swing around the side or come in for a flank.
Yeah, Xeon and Galaxy can't hover over off the other side of here because they know that there was crossfire coming in on the opposite side from Kodiak's squad, but Galaxy you can see the grenade on the top side of them. Not going to be able to do any much damage. Hive's doing a really good job. Throw the nade and then just step down. There's so many little of these crevices that he can hide in. 10 members are still left alive. You've got the members on the west side of the map that they're still fighting. But now they're going to have to be forced to move. Cobra is on this northern side. They're barely in with the piece of this complex. You've got the broken side of the wall, but it might not be enough. Hives is going to take a lot of damage. Xeon and Galaxy are going to be forced to rotate themselves around. Hives looks like he has a little bit more. And Ponyhoff, the solo member, doing a really good job at playing really patient right now.
Yeah, trying to open things up a little bit here. That could actually allow Hives to get away as they're distracted with him. Elzvoy knocked down by that mini, gets a few shots on the teammate, not able to pick him up, but looking to secure that downed kill. And Galaxy's going to step forward and pick off with Xeon. Hives, yeah, Ponyhoff's going to grab Kodiak, knocks him down.
Hives goes down to Xeon, so that's going to be an immediate down there, so they don't have to worry about the backside of their flank. While it does look like the Ponyhoff was able to get a couple knocks, he still hasn't got anybody just yet. Jonesy does a pretty good job at throwing out some...
couple light tosses on the smokes.
The little defensive smokes. Kodiak does end up going down as well to Ponyhoff, so he's going to find himself alive. There are 5 teams and 6 players left alive. Or sorry, 6 teams. No, yeah, 5 teams, 6 players left alive. I knew I read that correctly. And that's
I believe in your abilities to read, Jump.
Well, thank you. I feel much more comfortable. That means there's 1 duo left alive, and everybody else is solos.
Yeah, Galaxy and Xeon.
Xeon, for those of you that remember on Erangel, was actually our boatman decided to take a vacation boat to the far southeastern side of the water. Now finds himself in a top 5 situation. Jonesy's trying to lurk on this other side, and this is where things are really going to start to get frisky for a lot of these teams. Because now
Galaxy shoots right through the window, grabs Cobra, not able to see him. And
little dink.
Good pick off there. I was going to say, not very aware from Cobra.
And look at where this next circle is going to be at as well. Everyone that was on this eastern side, which is everybody but 1 person, is going to find themselves in a very rough spot because to get to this side, you have to go up and then back down again, which is going to severely reduce a lot of the damage you can see. Meanwhile, Ponyhoff gets a nice little back on the air. He's trying to get some damage. He's going to get a nice couple stuff, but he won't end up picking up the kill.
OMG,
that is not a good look for him. That's 4 points down in the grave.
Yeah, that really sucks, especially when you think about it like in a game like this where it's a free-for-all-ish scenario. Every kill like that is so important. Those points that you get for the kills, you don't get anything if you down him and someone else kills him, or if you chunk 90%, whoever gets that last bullet that kills him is the one that's getting those extra points because they want to qualify. It's so important.
2v1v1 situation, 4 players left alive. We've got Jonesy, Ponyhoff as the solo players, and then Xeon and Galaxy as the remaining duo. Ponyhoff has rough knowledge of where they are, so he's going to try to see if he can do pretty much a repeat route of what his fallen enemy had on this. So he's going to slow crawl onto this. Thankfully, he's got on the slow side of the circle, so he doesn't have to worry about too much. Going to decide to try to throw him out a grenade. He still has the ghillie suit on. It's not going to help him out too much. Does a really good job at trying to throw some flanking fire, but won't find himself off too much as Galaxy and Xeon going to find himself off of something. Jonesy ends up going down. And so now it is Ponyhoff and a Dream. They know exactly where he's at. Yeah, they have so much.
This high ground position. I don't even know. He can't even run up most of this area, can he? No, he's just going to be forced to just fight head on like this. There was not a whole lot he could have done there. GG.
And just like that,
our team of
Xeon and Galaxy.
Not bad.
6 kills.
6 kills, not too bad at all. Not a lot of kills for any of the teams individually. OMG Easy Jonesy looked like he had the most individual kills that game. Wow, who wins in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds? The unknown players. Got him.
Xeon and Galaxy walk away. Not only did they get 200 points, they had 6 kills in that, which is going to net them another 24, so 224 points added to their scoreboard. That was map number 4. It was a little bit slower than what we were expecting to see, but all in all, it was still a lot of action. Had some good long-range shots, don't you think?
Yeah, a lot of the battles, especially when they get intense around those buildings, you know, trying to go in between where the little storage silos are, and it gets tricky because so many people are holed up. Normally, the player count starts to drop off a lot earlier, but when you have that many buildings and that much cover and cubby holes for people to hide in, it slows down the pace of the game, and it kind of changes it in a way where having that outside position that's maybe less safe ends up benefiting you because you can see everyone trying to move out and get around.
And another thing that you have to think about as well is just the pure aspect of when you start shifting your play from super passive, like what we saw, into much more of an aggressive style, you have to find a way to essentially figure out how those positionings around the map are going to be, because what we saw in that last one, the duo that ended up winning, Dion and Glaxy, they rotated themselves early. They got to the highest point, so that way if they had to rotate, regardless of where the circle was, they were going to be able to do so while having the height advantage.
Wow, they did a really good job rotating around the side. Can't say anything bad about them. Really love their play, and congratulations to them for picking up this win.
Well, unknown players walk away with a map number 4 victory. 1 map remains for the Europe region. Hopefully, we'll see some other players continue to step up on the mark. We're going to take ourselves a quick break. When we return, it's Bob's Better Business Bureau. He's going to be doing our travel agent needs, and to Sandhawk we go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Broadcaster Royale. I'm Nathanius, joined by WTF Moses, and we are getting ready to go into our final game here at the European Qualifier.
Yes, Sandhawk, the last map of this this particular round. We have seen some good action on this map throughout the day in both the Asian Pacific and the European sections.
Oh yeah.
And even though we heard the bell, it is not quite time yet. We're just taking a look at some of these highlights from Miramar. A high-flying map, if there ever was one.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably our slowest match of the day, to put it lightly. But it heated up a little bit towards the end. We saw some good positional play. We'll be getting a lot more action coming up in our next series. Kudos to Little Big Whale, by the way. Got quite a few good plays. I haven't really seen too much of her.
Little Big Whale?
Yeah, I think that was
That's a great name.
It's a great handle.
And
the end, though, that's a humiliating way to go out. You're on the low ground. Obi-Wan is saying, "Don't try it," and you're like, "Well, it's Broadcast Royale. I have to try it. I'm supposed to try and win."
When you get double peaked from the high ground, and you're like, "Well, I can shoot one of these guys," while you're getting simultaneously shot by the other two. It's a tough position to be in, but for Ponyoff, getting that position is really the key. Just trying to get into that next stage, which is ultimately the key in that regional final.
Yep, and if you've got other cool positions and plays that you'd like seeing players get into, make sure to send us your clips. Hashtag Broadcast Royale. Tweet us. Let us know. Be like, hey, man, you guys thought everyone was proning. Well, I found a guy that was proning in a really weird spot that game. That was better than the proning that you were looking at. And, of course, I'm sure we'll have a lot more action in this next match as we're going into Sanhok. Faster paced.
Very fast.
For the lower player count that we have for the European qualifier, it's going to fit a little bit better on the smaller map.
Yeah, and I think that on Sandhawk, you'll see a lot more of that pressure point situations that we found. Obviously, it's a lot different when you have 45 or 46 players on any map, but Sandhawk definitely can accommodate the lower player count. So in this instance, even though it might be a little slow to get started, it will speed up very quickly, and just like that, you'll find people at each other's throats.
Yep. And Sanhok, always a good map. Of course, we play this one a lot for a reason. It's the newest map. It's got lots of wonderful, cool map features. You have those bridges. You have a bit of the water play. You have very heavily occupied loot drop areas all over the map. Getting your guns is very easy, and it really just comes down to how aggressive players want to be. You don't really have a whole lot of time to decide on that. You got to be moving constantly. So let's see where everybody wants to come in. That plane's going to head in from the southwest side.
And that's going to leave a lot of options open. We'll see a couple of people already headed very early in the plane path, wanting to head over to the eastern side of the map. We have seen the indomitable duo of Wacky Jackie and Spreezy headed towards that boot camp area. Looks like that is going to continue. They have staked their claim. They have been going at a team there once in a while, but we'll see if that contestation continues to happen. Now, we have found ourselves in a position where there are a top 20 teams. We will fly in those things as soon as we have them, but at the same time, there are people now maybe looking to have a little bit of fun, maybe make some things difficult for those who are a bit further ahead of them on the leaderboard. And we'll see if that happens here at the boot camp. Does not look like it. They do have one team coming with them, however.
Yep, and as you were talking about, we got Wacky Jackie coming in to land, so let's see if they get into an engagement. I believe the last time that we played on Sanhok, they also landed at boot camp, so they've been playing with a little bit of this this stoic confidence, not really super concerned about an early fight. They see where a lot of the players are going to end up landing and taking some very early shots towards that top of the center building at boot camp, looking for an early frag.
I like to call that the school for some reason, based on nothing other than the fact that I like the school
I mean, it's
moniker.
Yeah, it's When you're playing PUBG, exactly. You know, when you call something school, you're not saying that it's literally a school. You are implying something about what it is that makes it close enough to school.
Indeed, we do here have our leaderboard up to date. Perry Moniz has that 90-ish point lead. And
they've been crushing it.
Yeah, they've been doing well, and you can see pretty much everybody's in here. I don't know what this what Wacky Jackie's team name is now that I think about it, but regardless,
no,
I'm sure
they're Camp to Win.
Camp to Win is them. Well, yeah. they look like they're doing just fine. Dead center middle of the leaderboard. Looks like they have their spot secured. We have Cyanide. Congratulations, Cyanide, on your most recent purchase of a 2018 Toyota Corolla.
Anyone on the bottom floor?
Did I miss a reference?
He has a McLaren.
Ah, nice.
What, dude?
So we have Of course, you still see that the early fights are going to be a little bit slower. Does seem to have a bead on a player nearby. I'm going to say he's like, well, he's got the Vector. But I guess without extended quick draw, it's dangerous to try and engage with that or like rush in with something like that.
For a peek from my angle, I can't see it.
Okay.
Yeah, as he's telling his teammate, he's trying to peek this spot, trying to get that snipe off on the top side, but it is difficult. The opponent does not want to show himself too quickly here.
I think that's the same cyanide. I don't know. Maybe there's a different cyanide, but
Can't get hyper focused then.
I'm not sure if it's the same guy. Regardless, if that's not him, then he probably doesn't have a McLaren.
Maybe I just don't follow the meta
well,
enough.
it's like, you know, like Cyanide, Soviet Womble, that kind of YouTuber, Arma 3. Never seen that stuff? It's all right. I'll show you some references. But popular YouTuber, if that is him.
I'm a pretty... I say most of the PUBG content that I watch is on Twitch. I haven't seen too much of that.
Well,
you know me.
They play lots of different games, but regardless, Cyanide into the cryptocurrency. He started either he's a big investor in crypto or otherwise, but either way, he's got himself a fancy new car.
Nice.
20,000.
Congratulations to that guy.
Yeah. Good work.
We've got, this is actually uncomfortable. This makes me feel uncomfortable. Ponyhoff is going through this, like they're coming through. Okay, they just found a first aid kit, by the way, but I'm like, his teammate, Unreal Yuki, looks like he's actually like 10 health or like 5 health.
Yeah.
More 5-5 here, too.
There is a first aid. I need to see him heal. It's triggering me.
There we go.
Okay, oof. All right. My anxiety was just, just going through the roof on that. Walking around, basically waiting for a cold breeze to kill him.
UBU.
And calling out the weapons, getting that good loot up. Looking for that. He's got the level 2 vest now. And the first circle, I mean, we're going to be waiting to see the circle close in again. Probably to the second or third time before we see too much more action. As you can see, everyone's pretty much perfectly spread out inside of it. Wacky Jackie does have that other team nearby. I do believe we had a straggler actually picked off in the center east part-ish by the quarry. It looks like our first kill has taken place over there, but otherwise everybody else still very spread out. A lot of the French players in that northwest island.
We're receiving word that Yolanda's team, unfortunately, decided to go for ice cream instead of participating in this round. Nothing else could have potentially happened to them. They have gone for ice cream. It's a personal choice, and really, I could go for ice cream right now. And,
I respect a fellow human being's right to go get ice cream.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's Saturday. It's Saturday night over there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great time for ice cream if you think about it.
Yeah. And we've got... Well, we got players here fighting for a chicken dinner, which is, to some people, you'd prefer it over ice cream. Like
I prefer very little over ice cream.
Really?
Yeah. I was eating ice cream before this cast started.
Were you?
I'm not going to tell you where I got it.
Okay.
I'm ashamed of where I got it, but it was there.
That's good. Now I don't want to know. Now I had my curiosity, but you shut that down real fast.
There's a guy. Okay, listen. All you got to know is there's a guy in a poncho at the corner of the street. He'll give you some directions, and you can get yourself some ice cream.
Okay.
Just
seems legit. Yeah, we're just waiting for these players to start engaging each other more, guys. Everybody's still so spread out.
Right now,
we need another circle or two. 48 players is a rough start. Hey, Glaxy and Xeon have made their way into boot camp by 10,000 Days in Mithrin, where Team Camp to Win is also over there. I think Alp TV's team is on the outside as well. So there's a decent amount of teams around boot camp. But in this situation, like trying to force a fight when there's so many players still alive, you don't want to lose your rank. You don't want to fall down in place. And especially with how many buildings and cover there are, you're not really guaranteed to kill. Even if you get it down on one player, very easy for them to just crawl away from the window, get rezzed, and get right back at it. So if you don't have a lot of healing supplies, you don't really want to try to take those trades either.
Polyahoff currently, I believe, in 18th place, so not out of the woods just yet, both figuratively and literally. He is got to be looking for kills here. Got to keep it going.
So what a great
sub thing.
Animation for someone subscribing. That's great. I love it. Except I wouldn't want the care package to blow up.
You know what? And the timing of the text and the graphic doesn't match up. That's 50 DKP minus right there.
Yeah.
Can't have it.
No. We expect nothing but perfection
from sub animation.
Improve it. You can always do better.
That's as close as he gets to a frown, Ponyhoff.
Peeking the right side
surgery wreaked havoc on his ability to frown.
So hard. Okay, I have some ATP.
So these guys are holding up the top ground, talking about the resources that they have available. Because the circle is still centering in on that eastern side of the map, or at least the eastern side of the original circle, the boot camp boys don't really need to go anywhere. There are a couple of teams in the southwest region that'll need to make their way northeast, but based on what we're seeing here on the minimap, they shouldn't run into too much resistance. Little Big Whale's team is, if they go straight to Painan, they won't run into anybody. Pony Wolf's team might run into the team of So Precious, though, as they make their way towards the big bridge.
Oh, yeah, they are.
So Wacky Jacky can hear this team across the way. They know there's someone nearby.
I'm lagging too, go hard.
And I don't think that they're willing. They're just kind of playing super defensive right now. They're dead center. They have no reason to move.
They're playing to win.
They're playing to win. They're in the middle of the leaderboard. They have no potential way to lose this as far as I'm aware. And yet, no one is taking any risks because
Laying out in the open though, dude.
you play to win.
It's serious business.
I think his buddy's close as well.
He's making the call out. He's like, I saw him through the windows. I think his buddy's close. He's peeking the doors. He's trying to keep tabs on him here. As we're in Game 5 of our European qualifier, of our European Invitational Qualifier here at the Broadcaster Royale. And coming up after this, we'll be rotating out our commentators, and we'll be going to
sleep.
Going to the NA qualifier.
Oh, sorry.
And then the Latin American qualifier. Yeah. Well, I'll be rotating out too. Don't worry, man.
Rotating out of
I'm going to
consciousness.
go take the sickest power nap I've ever had.
Yeah, North America up next, along with Latin America. That should be exciting. There's a lot of big names in the North American section.
Oh yeah.
So,
do you have any of the names confirmed? I took
Nope.
a peek at it, but they were like, "You're not casting NA," and I'm like,
No.
"Okay, the list doesn't really matter."
No, lots of big personalities in North America.
Yeah.
Lots of favorites out there. I cannot name a single one. Currently, this guy's eye tracker looking for action.
Yeah.
Nothing so far.
This is cool. You know, it kind of reminds me a little bit of I can't.
Bubble Bobble.
Something. There's what's that game where you can like you play as a blob, but you can like split up into other blobs and.
Spore.
No, it's like
Bubble
a 2D.
Bobble?
It's like a 2D game. It reminds me of it's an IO. It's one of those IO web browser games.
Oh, bubblebobble.io.
No.
I have no idea.
I can't remember. Okay, we got to look at the leaderboard as well to keep you refreshed on where things are. Blue Walkers 2 in second place, trailing to Perry Mones at 796. I mean, at that point, like you can't lose.
Yeah, Spreezy could
You literally cannot lose.
Before I could even tell him.
Give me
The
something.
problem is that he was lagging so much, or he's lagging so much, so it kind of messed up everything. So unfortunately, I crashed.
Oh
no!
I'm sitting out in the open and looking.
Well, he's like, my teammate's lagging, and then he. Oh, ouch. Well,
oh God,
that just happened.
Boot camp's right next to us.
Yeah.
Well,
all right, we got Cyanide's team making their way northeast. They are inside of the circle, it seems, so they are just chilling. They're going to be running right towards it. It looks like just about everybody. There's one team I can see that's outside of the circle still on the southwest.
Cold
Hey,
Dement is dead.
yeah, Team Todd, the Archmage, just knocked him out in the top left by that bridge.
What's the Archmage thing?
It's because Todd is he's one, I think in the time of its peak, he was like a top 4, top 5 War 3 player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he won like the world championship and everything. So I assume it's a Warcraft meme.
Oh, I was thinking about Archons. Jesus, I'm so dumb.
No.
I was thinking, isn't that the Protoss thing? That would have triggered you too hard. I'm glad I caught myself.
It's okay.
Yeah.
He does do that too, though. So
Okay, fair enough.
You wouldn't be wrong to make that assumption.
How many, as a person that has never been good at RTS games, how many hours does it take to become good at StarCraft? Like passable.
Infinite.
Like
Infinite. There is no such thing. Doesn't
There's no
exist.
skill stealing, eh?
No. Every single person I know who plays thinks they're bad.
Oh.
Even the people that win
Great.
tournaments. That's just how it works.
I'm right with the top guys then. I know because
Right
I
there.
think I'm bad too.
The risky push
Right
now,
there. So this
maybe.
next circle is still closing in around boot camp. Wow. So team camp to win. Wacky Jacky. They've been doing well. Little Big Whale, by the way, still very far south in the blue. I mean, if you've got meds, it's whatever, right?
Well.
Players still very spread out.
How you play this game is up to you. And if you want to live out in the blue by yourself, then that's fine.
Yeah. If you want to be blue, abadee, abadai, you can do that. That's your choice.
Great. Now that song in my head again.
And Pony Knot's gonna open the door. He's checking the corners. He's got to be extremely careful. He's like, could I set myself up for a life in this house? He's like, well, it's not in the blue. It's not in the safe zone, sir. It's like, okay. We cannot settle down here.
This guy wants a 1080 Ti.
Is it a Gar? Is it the Agar IO? Right? That's the blob one where the blobs eat the other blobs.
I have no idea. If I had known what you're talking about, I definitely would have helped you out.
It's okay. And now that I've said it, I'm sure people in chat got my back.
God. Good.
The eye tracker looks like the blob. Yeah.
I see. Oh, so we got Wacky Jackie back in the game. He found his way back.
Nice.
From the nether.
Technology is amazing.
He is still in the same building.
Well, did we really expect him to leave? Let's be honest. OMG Easy Jonesy, who he finished 4th in the last game. He got picked off from that high ground position that we were talking about, as the unknown players did a really good job of holding that down on Miramar. So he's looking to try and get a bit of a better finish. Except this time, his teammate Kodiak's still alive, so that's always nice. Having your teammate feels great.
I love having teammates.
Yeah, me too. So that, really it's just because I get down so much. Having someone to pick me up, really.
Duos is a fun dynamic. It's also like some of the most frustrating because sometimes you die early. Oh my God, gunshots. Here we go. So it looks like...
WTSB, So Precious TV. Gotta be careful, that package. That care package does look delicious, doesn't it? Don't you want to go for it?
Blade Cito and Dynamic. High-level players from Europe. I know Blade Cito has played a lot of competitive in his time, but it looks like they had that crate stolen right out from under them. And Jonesy still looking around, as you can see, inspecting all the trees one at a time. It's such a that Twitch extension for the eye tracker is actually very cool for this game. It's you don't even he can't see it on his screen, but it comes up through through Twitch. Really cool.
Yeah. Some people, that's like a thing that comes up where it's like, because I've seen other streamers do this. People are like, well, it's like it'd be cool if there was a way to. If there was actually a Twitch extension, I know you do it through your streaming program, but if there was actually a Twitch extension for it where you could turn it off as well,
you can
have the choice.
That's what I'm talking about.
Does it actually run through an extension?
Yeah, it's run through Twitch. It's a new thing. I think it's a beta extension where they can change the color, they can change the shape, they can turn it on, they can turn it off.
See that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I'm still living in my past years ago.
Pretty new.
Where
it's pretty new. So within the last couple of months, I believe. But we have seen a circle shift going all the way north.
Bring the campers out of boot camp. Thank you.
Even peeking at the same time.
Thank you, base player unknown. All right. So we've got quite a few teams on the south end of this blue zone coming out. Cobra and LZ might have eyes on Pony Hop soon. They're going to be trailed by a little big whale and unconspicuous. So the potential for some combat there as well.
Come with me.
Oh, yeah.
But
we need
Great work, Doug.
Come.
For,
so
for a wacky
I don't know where we enter.
It's like
we should
almost
probably
too
enter
professional
to the right,
logo.
right?
It's called
Wagon, it's like the most serious, mechanically
balloons.
oriented,
I want
like
balloons,
straight-laced, polite, and
modern.
Wacky would not be how I describe that individual.
Yeah, Pony Off, they're taking some shots. We were talking about this. There was that team right behind them.
They're getting peppered.
And they are being attacked by this trailing Estella team. Well, that's where you put the Cobra. Okay.
It wasn't his grenade.
It's like, well, I was going to throw a grenade on myself, but you killed me with a grenade first. Well played.
He body blocked his teammate, threw a grenade on top of both of them, and they both died to a grenade right on top of where his teammate just got downed.
Hell of a way to go out.
Hell of a way to go
out. And here we've got Little Big Whale. She's so close to finally getting back into the safe zone for the first time since
she can see it.
It's like, I'm almost there. Almost.
Go Big Whale.
She's kind of like running around the side of it to the right as well, though, and that's it's kind of making it. She's not running directly into it. She's gonna stop, pop that first aid, and try to make her way back in. We got looks like Todd just finished off by Mythrain. Meanwhile, Jonesy knocked down Cyanide with his QBZ, but he's got to be careful. Him and his teammate very, very low. He's gonna pop that first aid. Dynamic is down. And Cyanide finished off as well. Edberg was picked off during that.
So now there's almost nowhere else for these people to go other than to fight each other. So we've now got into a situation where even though it's a relatively slow early game, we are going to see now that southern portion of the play zone start to pile up with players. Spreezy and Wacky are down there. Oh no, that's incorrect. They're they're actually rotating out from the circle.
Well, there are still a couple of building clusters, and you know what that means. These guys are attracted to those like moths to the flame. We've got Trucky's team up in the top left. Although Yelema going up against WTCN on the right side, downed. Loggymuff also getting in a little crossfire.
Wacky's actually running right beside Izaku as well, so he must have seen him. He's got that Vector at the ready. Wacky Jackie, the darkest eyeline, he's become the Vector guy.
And Bootless running alone, by the way. He's about to just run right up to where Alp and Lyar as that next circle. That's going to pull most of the buildings out of the equation. There will still be a few on that left side.
Uh-oh. That's where the Vector's weakest. Oh, boy. He's out of ammo. The Vector claims another victim.
Well, GG.
That's
GG indeed, Wacky.
Many people's experience with the Vector when you miss. Ouch, Chihuahua.
The Vector is so god. It's so bad. I can't. It leaves.
What, that range is so bad.
Moved so.
Look at these spreadsheets.
I love spreadsheets.
The Excel is a very handy tool to use.
Do we got Yeah. All right, we got.
Still in the blue. Her teammate died.
Little Big Will. I was born in the blue.
I will die in the...
I didn't see the safe zone till I was a bird. And she died in it. So. Bootless, by the way.
And that's the ball game.
Ouch. Okay, well, everybody just died in that house. Bootless got a little bit of revenge for his fallen comrade, Todd. But Jonesy, look at this. Hanging out in the rafters. High-level turtle strategies.
Yeah, A+.
You know, he's just like, yeah, I'm not giving this up. You're not going to open the door and expect me to be here.
Whoa! Oh, she's spectating. I was like, she's back from the dead!
It's like, that would be odd. As I'm looking at Loggy Buff.
That was like,
traipsing around.
If you die to the blue, how does it decide who to spectate? Like the person closest to you.
Closest to you.
Yeah. There we go. We have H1.
Yep. Himes top with his buddy. Spack just died to the blue. So Rippin' Parmesan there. And here we have Armut moving forward. He's got decent kit set up here. But we're going to be waiting for that next zone to pull everyone even closer together. They got 20 seconds. And that's going to pull everybody onto where Sito is, I believe. So, yeah.
That's it's shaping up to be a situation where there's only 2 people in the play zone. Buildings are all coming out at once.
Yeah. Thank God. Getting rid of the buildings. At least, I mean, these players have been so patient and so careful, but damn it, I want to see them shoot each other.
They're going to run out, and they're going to get immediately shot by those guys on the flank because they can hear those shots happening. But, you know, when you have that building cover for that long, that it's very difficult to come out and have good information. This guy's going to die to the blue as well. Get a move on, you're so late.
He's trying.
He's way too far away.
Armlet's knocked down. Loggypuff's going to have to leave him as him and Elseway are going to eat that blue damage, and it is ticking very hard now as we've reached the end of the game. Cobra has died to the blue.
I think we're going to see another blue death here happening pretty shortly. That guy's way too far away. The black and white camera's not helping him out.
Yep. Armlet taken down by the blue as well.
Okay.
MVP, there's Mazzarini down as well, so...
Blue zone claims many alive. Some good shots coming out here. Easy Jonesy doing everything that he can. Kodiak's going to need to heal up, but they took out Xeon and Galaxy together. Is he like, oh, no. Okay, that sucks. Like, oh yeah, maybe this
to the next shack I can hide in.
He's like, maybe I can hide in this shack. It's like, loses half your health. Okay, guess not.
To be fair, the zone has done most of the work for them.
It's like a wand, you know. The shack has to choose you. You can't just pick which shack you get. Okay. The shack can reject you.
For those wondering, that is a very deep Star Trek reference.
I was going for a Harry Potter reference. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. I get it.
Oh, okay.
I watch Harry Potter.
I wasn't sure if
every week I watch the whole series.
If you're double memeing me, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's the dry humor.
His teammate's down, but he's like, but you're down, but you're not in the shack. It's like, I can't help you.
I can't come out, dude. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do.
Do you want me to leave the shack?
Are you saying that I have to go outside?
This is my home. The sun is dangerous.
Spent my whole life here. Oh, there's another guy closer to him. Go, Vector guy.
I don't know any life but the shack life. All right, well, he gets the smoke out. He's coming over to try.
Circle's coming. He's got to do something.
Yeah, he's got to wiggle.
He should. The res would be done by now. Oh my gosh, that sucks.
Well, rip and Parmesan. Car 98 straight to the face. And Hives.
This guy's also dead to the zone.
Yep. Trucky's like, I can use my first aid. How about no?
Gazdaydım abi.
I think the game is going to end with the zone killing.
No, that's what happened. The zone did kill everyone. Felix and Trellix win the final match of the qualifier.
MVP is the blue zone going undefeated in the end game.
Oh my God.
Rolling through. And
did we just watch 10 people die in the last bit to the blue? Everybody pretty much died in the final bit to the blue.
You know what? I'm gonna. They saw that game from Liquid at PGI. Like, I want to try that strategy. But you know what? That's a deep cut. But at the same time, great work, Trellix. You avoided the zone.
Great job, Trellix and Felix. You know, it's like, oh, the other players are dangerous. Like, well, when the fights happen that late, that.